Hi, I'm Paul. Only pets, only pets, only pets. So what Gino thinks that we should do is we should basically turn Jack into a pimped out feline and then post a bunch of provocative stuff involving his face and other parts of his anatomy. Yes. Yes.
It'll be really funny, and that'll probably grow. I'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
Oh
We're
man.
gonna just increase a Boo Boo's volume. I will absolutely increase Boo Boo's volume. That is a really, really, really mucho good idea. Give me 1 second. There we go. Boo Boo, go ahead and say something for me.
Why, hello, everybody.
Oh, I just almost peed. Hold on, that was a bit too much. Okay, try it now.
Hello.
Wonderful. For those of y'all that don't work with this kind of stuff, anytime Windows has an update, I feel like I have to redo all of my audio settings. So if someone could just create an app for me, that'd be great. Excuse there. But maybe it's because I'm moving right now. Maybe that's just an excuse. Nah, we'll koozle, shit happens, bro. Nah, Tommy, you're good. Like my friend just got Overwatch, so I'm helping him. Knock, do what you gotta do, big dog. Any whoozy what's it's. So if you, for those of y'all that can hear our very own Boo Boo, Boo Boo goes ha.
Hi,
Hey
everybody.
Boost. Hi Boost. Today we are going to be doing a live coaching session. So for those of y'all that are interested in what goes on in the live coaching, this is very similar to, let's say you wanted to learn how to play guitar and you hire someone to teach you and do guitar lessons. It's the exact same thing. This is someone that is looking to improve, and this is someone that is trying to help them improve. So what we are going to be doing today is we have 4 things lined up for you guys can see basically how one of these 2-hour sessions would work. Again, this is not the standard session. This is definitely a lot more strenuous, and I usually recommend it for people that are trying to hit the ground running and learn a new character that they've never touched before, or they're really pushing for higher elo. So it's not recommended for everyone. It is very, very strenuous. Now, the standard coaching session, a lot of value. We have a lot of people that have already vouched for it in either our Medify listings or in our Discord. For those of you that are curious, you can take a look at the coaching reviews that are in there. We have a couple in there in the Discord. But it really comes down to me making it as personalized for the person as possible so that you get as much bang for your buck as possible.
Yep, I agree with that. I've
Thank you.
done
Thank you.
how many of these now? 11?
Something close to that. So we've done like about 11 of them over at least 10 over the last 6 months, and you've gone from Silver 3 to GM 3.
Yeah, it's definitely been a huge jump. And each
Yeah.
time I do it, I do increase by either 1 or 2 ranks.
It's been a big thing. Now keep in mind we've done this with Boo Boo and we have gone over tanking as a main role. We've done several characters. If there is one character that you just want to improve on, and that's basically it, it will not take you nearly as many sessions in theory. You'll be able to do it because Boo Boo here is a perfectionist and he knows that the tanking role itself, it is very much a good thing to be able to play multiple heroes, especially from different archetypes. So he just wanted to be the best he could possibly be. And at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make y'all shine as bright as I can. Hey,
Yeah,
DNet. Hey, Lau.
when I started this, I started off with Diva and Diva only. I hit
Mm-hmm.
Diamond, it got stuck in Diamond, and it got shot back down when I was trying to learn a new hero. So then I got another coaching session for another tank, and we started climbing. Then I hit Masters, then shot back down because I wanted to go back to Diva. So we're back and forth with tanks, and now I'm like, all right, it's time to learn multiple roles and multiple style of tanking. So that's why we started with learning. Last time we learned poke, dive, and rush. We picked three
Mm-hmm.
tanks, and they were Reinhardt, Ramatra, and Diva. Those are my most comfortable, and I'm trying to perfect them all.
So
That's the
he
goal.
he Boo Boo went from having basically he plays Diva to now understanding what Diva is good at and understanding the matchups, and then he's added other characters to his arsenal. So now as a tank player, he's proudly not a one trick, but he also recognizes, a hammer is used for this, a saw is used for this, a screwdriver is used for this. He recognizes what tools are best used in different situations, and that's what I talk about when I'm trying to make you guys smarter players. I'm not trying to make you a better Doom player or a better Diva player. No, I'm trying to make you a more intelligent player because then you become way scarier and way more beneficial to your lobby. Uh,
Yeah, I got
Boost,
GM3 now.
we're gonna, yes, from Silver 3 to GM3. Boost, we're gonna stop you right there. Lao does not speak English. They're learning English, and I know that you're new, but I'm gonna say this right now. If someone makes a spelling error in chat, don't be the dickhead that insults them for it. We've already had issues with that this week. Don't act like you've never made a spelling error in your life. And even if they weren't learning English, don't be mean for no reason. Let's not start the day that way. Just be nice to everybody. That's all it is. Yes. Hey, Astral, good to see you. Hope you're having a good morning. We had an interesting one. Good to see you, Owen. What's going on?
You
So
know,
we,
it's
we
water mommy.
Sojourn is the ultimate multi-tool. Well, Gino, I want to do some Sojourn grinding with you because I think you'd pop off. Opinions on the new Doomfist Bruno Mars skin. I don't like Bruno Mars. I'll be honest with you. So this skin is kind of just like whatever to me. I really don't like Bruno Mars. I think he's obnoxious. Hey, Gloom, good to see you, by the way.
I do like the fist though. It reminds me a lot of a boombox.
Yeah, no, aesthetically, I think it's fun. I just don't like Bruno Mars personally. I love Bruno Mars because T-Jat's my last name. Well, Gloomy, I didn't know your last name is T-Jats. Venture ruins Doom as a character. Maybe that's what it is, Astral. I don't think it fits. Yo, Zach with the gifted sub for Kuzul. Zach, good to see you, bud. That was
I
very
was
nice
looking
of you,
at
Zach.
I didn't even look at the skin, but now that I'm actually looking at it, I
But
like that highlight intro.
to answer your question, DNAT, what we're going to be doing is I'll give you guys kind of like a breakdown. So what we have planned for today, I'm about to put some stuff on the screen. It's going to be very, very confusing, but I'll explain it to y'all and it'll kind of go from there. But basically, what we're going to be doing is we are doing a live coaching session for Boo Boo. Now, this is our 2 hour version of it, and it's going to incorporate 4 different things, and those are going to pop up on the screen now. So, anybody confused yet? The handwriting is with a mouse, right, Dina? I know. Okay, so there's 4 things that we're going to do today. Number 1, raw warm-up game. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Looking forward to that liver adjustment. I don't know what that means, Zach. Oh, you mean for the coaching? Zach, all you got to do is ask, bro. You know my schedule. You book it, and I'll make it work. I'll wake up early. I'll go to bed late if I need to. Actually, good hunting with Master Rio. People keep asking if I'm like Mexican or Spanish. Well, your last name is T-Chat. Anywho, so raw warm-up game. That's the very first thing we're gonna do. Number 2, it's going to be, it says 3-layer, 2-in-1. Boo Boo already knows what this is. So essentially, I've told you all about my blueprint that I'm writing for YouTube. Obviously, I can't show it to you guys right now. Boo Boo is one of my passion projects because he's been very committed to the community. He's helped out in a multitude of ways. And he's the only person outside of my mods that have access to this blueprint because, well, Boo Boo's an exceptional guy and I want him to feel exceptional. This is something I obviously can't post on the internet yet until it's published because no one has ever done this before. And I don't want people stealing the ideas until it's fully recognizable as my contribution to the Overwatch community because it's never been done before. So, gonna leak layer 1 chat. Well, layer 1 I've given to you guys because it's the most basic, but essentially how the blueprint works is it's meant to be looked at whether you are a bronze 5 player and you've been playing for 5 hours, you can look at least the first layer and go, oh, that makes sense. And then if you're someone that, let's say, is rank 5 and you've been playing for 5 years, you can look at it and go, okay, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. I do that. I do layer 4. I do layer 3 as well. That makes sense. So the idea is that the complexity increases as you go layer, but in 20 words or less with a simple diagram, anyone can understand it despite how much exposure they have to the game, as well as how much time they have spent invested into it. And even if they're visiting from another FPS title, they'll still be able to look at it and go, okay, I have a direction. And that's never been done before. So it's definitely difficult. So
That's an A, not an O.
Yes, thank you, Gloomy. So layer 3 is the third layer. Each of these layers do get harder as they go along. Boo Boo has made his way into the third layer, and it's already got into GM. So once you get to the fourth layer, that's where you start getting into like top 100, GM1, top 50 games. What layer would you say I am at, Atlas? Dina, I have not had the pleasure of seeing you play in quite a while, but in
Yeah.
particular, when I publish this, I think you would get a kick out of it, Dina, because you play other FPS titles, and I would argue that you could even use this for other games. It may look a little bit
Uh,
different because of the specifics, but some of these layers pop up and they go, okay, the movement stuff makes sense, map pathing, that makes sense. So there's some concepts that are there's no only Overwatch words that are used other than maybe the word cooldown, which that could be transferable. Fifth layer is Overwatch League. Oh no, no, no. If you start looking at, and I talked to Boo Boo, I talked to you about this. If you start looking at like contenders level or like team play, that's completely different because this
yeah.
is just for the individual. Now you have five people all working in tandem, doing all these things as like their default base level of skill. It's pretty freaking cool. It's very fun to watch.
Working as a team is like a different animal entirely. So
Mhm.
that's
Uh,
so
I'm
if Atlas wants to do Overwatch League in the future, or like a Overwatch benefit for the future for League,
mhm.
but for right now, this is just for one player.
Yeah, this is good for the individual. Again, my focus is to make you guys smarter. So, Dina, I don't know where I would put you. Gurak, I don't know where I would put you, simply because I have not sat down with you guys and analyzed you with the blueprint. The blueprint is meant for y'all to be able to look at and use it to grow on your own. So once it is published, I'm very, very curious on the feedback from players of all ELOs, whether you are low ELO or high ELO. I will always take criticism and I will always take feedback on how I can tweak it and make it better, and also to see whether or not you guys understand it and it makes sense. But the hope is if we can get this published and then put into the eyes of maybe some larger content creators, if we can get recognition from this, it'll mean a lot for the community. So there's a lot riding on this, but I think it's good. There's a lot of time, sweat, and tears that's been put into it. So I really appreciate the realistic answer. I was mostly just making a joke with the dissolving Overwatch League this year. I need to get in on this. Hello everyone. Hey Maya. Hi Sporks. Well, I'm ageist. Gino he's 29, and I think he'll always be 29. He basically looks like if Brad Pitt had like a cousin that was like way better looking, but just never got into acting. That's basically what Gino looks like. And he has an accent.
Is it a
Anyway,
Southern accent?
it's whatever you want it to be, baby. Anyway, so the three layer, two and one. Boo Boo knows what this is. You guys will kind of see that a little bit. Application, live adjustments in between rounds and fights. So what this means is that as you guys see us doing the live gameplay, we're gonna have you're going to see how I make little adjustments, make little tweaks to how he plays as he's playing. And the fourth one will be a review game, the first to the last. So y'all will get to see the difference of how much improvement we can do and how much tweaking we can make between the very first game that we did at the beginning of the session and then the final game to close out the session. Now, this is very exhausting because it's going to be about 2 hours where Boo Boo's really going to be giving it his all. Atlas, did you ever upgrade your PC? We had one person donate specifically that helped us get our graphics card, and a lot of y'all donated to help us get our motherboard upgrade. The only thing that I would still need to upgrade at this point is my RAM and my storage. What card did you get? I have a 4070 Ti. Anywho, without any further questions though, if you guys are ready, or Boo Boo, if you are ready, we about to do this shiznit. Lau, I had pizza for breakfast. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell Deanna. She'll be very, very disappointed. Don't tell Deanna I had pizza. What's RAM size do you need? 32 or more? Right now, I have a total of 32. I have 4 sticks that lead up to 32. Um, Based on the editing and the RAM processes I would like to have, um,
Minigame.
I'm looking for a lot more. I'm looking for like 16 to 32 per stick, and I'm gonna get 4 sticks.
We're defending on Gibraltar. I'm going out with Diva first.
Okay. Let's see what we got. Now, first game, I'm not going to say much, chat. I'm going to let Boo Boo cook. I have some rendering activities I'm interested in DNAT. Isn't there? Yeah, so exactly. So that's all the information I'm going to give you, DNAT. But yeah, there's some rendering stuff. Okay, chat, we'll just watch.
Still have the Sombra. Sombra's over there. Hunter's alone. no. Honda's still here. Failed. Bad.
Mercy likes you. Okay. So a couple things I really, really liked. One of them was the leave the hog alone and pressure Hanzo with the tree. That was really fantastic. So nice full held for the first game. A micro, if you get hooked by the hog and then the Hanzo was able to push and pop your BAP, if you do get displaced by something, whether it is a Doomfist, a ball, a hog, whatever it may be, I want you to remember you don't always have to go back to where you were originally. If they move you closer to another spot of value, take that as, hey, thank you for the free boosters. So if you can already take space that's a little bit deeper and they get you halfway, look at it as like, okay, cool. Well, I only have to go half the distance. And so you can actually now turn his displace that was kind of relatively one brain celled or very linear, and you can actually use it as an advantage. So before we queue into the next game, hey Rage, welcome, welcome. So Gurak, the ebb and flow concept, A10 didn't come up with that. That's just what A10 calls it. So there's several names for it. There's ebb and flow, there's push and pull, there's in and out. Essentially, what that's referring to is when you go forward, when you back up, and when you stay put. Another common use of it is pivoting when it comes to like team play. So I am familiar with A10 Gurak. It's just good to note. This is why I tell you guys it's good to find a coach that kind of fits with your learning style because if you look at all the best coaches, they all basically talk about the same thing, but it's how they say it. So that's very, very
Word it differently.
yes. When I had my assistant coach Ainsley, one of the reasons that him and I worked together so well is because we, in the very first time we met, we that Discord call was about 6.5 hours long. And that very first time we met, the very first time we interacted, was getting on the same page with how we use different terminologies. But I follow ebb and flow when I play tank. And that's correct, Gurak. That is 100% correct. I'm just letting you know that if you see something that looks like that, but it's called something else, you're not crazy. It's the exact same thing. It just perhaps has a different terminology. So if you hear me say something like push, pull, when to go in, when to back up, it's the exact same thing. I just don't want you to feel like you're crazy. When I play DPS, I have a different mindset. Um, fun fact that the ebb and flow concept, it's the exact same whether it's on DPS, tank, or support. It still exists. It maybe just looks different. Ainsley's assistant coach was unfortunately the team's contract did expire. So Ainsley, I believe, is a free agent at the moment, and he's one of the people in the community. He's also very good at doing the aim training, shoot, shoot, pew, pew. I'm not sure
Yeah,
how
he
much
helped me out quite a bit.
yeah, I'm not sure how much he charges for his services, but that is an asset that we have available. Mhm. He coached
It's
me
not
for
free
free.
for everybody, Owen, though. So
Yeah, he helps out here and there, but he's a very busy guy. So he really likes what we're doing with the community. There's a lot of people that are really really nice. He kind of selfishly offering up their resources and time here. So hope for the people that do get benefits from those things, they do. Hope you guys are grateful because it's a big deal. Okay, so we went over our first game. This will be something that we kind of review at the end. As you guys can see, full hold on Gibraltar, constantly moving, high uptime, constantly looking to see where we're going. What is ebb and flow? So the best way I can describe that, Astral, and this is something I'll go over with Boo Boo's benefit, and when we've been over this, if we look at like the third layer and stuff like that. But Boo Boo, you and I have talked about when it's an appropriate time to take space versus hold space, correct?
Right.
Where it's a good time to, based on what we have going around us, when it's time to just kind of chill, relax, don't get too greedy with the space we're trying to pressure out, versus we have our team with us, we can kind of go in. The best way I can describe ebb and flow, Astral, is if I were to ask you if you're playing tank and you're playing diva, and if you have both of your DPS that are rotating with you, and you know if you clear a section of the map, they can come with you and start shooting their pew pew guns, that would be super awesome and helpful, right? Okay. Now imagine this. Both of your DPS are dead, and you still go to try to control the same amount of space. You now no longer have people behind you to help you with the pew pew gun thing. So ebb and flow is recognizing when that happens. So who is coming with you in the pew pew gun thing? And if they're not coming with you because either they're unaware or they're dead and they're unable to, it is what am I going to be able to accomplish here? It's recognizing that right now I can go in aggressively and I've got a big wave of pressure about to crash into them with me. Versus if it's just me, it's a smaller wave. So think about how much water and how much churn up happens into a wave to build the wave, build the wave, build the wave. If it's just you, you can't make as much of a wave as your whole team could together. That's the difference. So ebb and flow refers to when is it time to kind of just build the wave versus actually go for a crash. So it's recognizing when to do that. When it's better to kind of just hold the space you already have versus push for additional. And that's ebb and flow. Kind of think of it like water bending from last Avatar. It's like push and pull. Be like water. It becomes the teapot, all that good shit. Yeah.
And that also leads into the flow of the fights too, because if you start realizing what when people push and pull, because that's also like of what's the word I'm looking for? It's a push and pull game, and when you realize that someone's gonna push and you see it, then it becomes what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
It now becomes like a trigger where you need to make a decision. So if
Right.
someone goes for an aggressive play, you have options. You know that you can't stay there, right? So a low elo player just hits S key and backs up entirely. But a smarter player that's not thinking linearly realizes that they cannot be there, but they have other options. Maybe they can go up, maybe they can go to the left, maybe they can go to the right, maybe they can actually, you know, hard engage on it or match it with a cooldown or an ultimate. So it's the how it looks different is realizing what you do in response. So most people's base instinct is to just run away or they don't notice it and they explode and die versus it's like, okay, someone's throwing a punch. Most people will just try to duck and dodge the punch. But then the more experienced boxer realizes that you can either parry it, dodge it, but then you respond with something in return. It's not just keep running away the entire time. So that's kind of the difference. But yeah, I call it push and pull. So if you guys hear me say push and pull or pivoting, something like that, that has to do with the ebb and flow concept. But that actually applies to every role in the game. It's not just tank. It just looks different on tank. It also looks different if it's a dive hero versus a poke hero versus a brawler. We are doing a live coaching session with Boo Boo Reel. Okay, so that was the first game. I made my little notes about how I really liked the target priority with that tree being active on point, where you let the hog be isolated and you pressure the Hanzo out. I really love that. I think you're showing a really nice amount of balanced effort in terms of what is trying to pressure for space and what space you can deny, not just tunnel visioning on their supports the entire time. So the next one I'm going to go in again. I've given Boo Boo the freedom because we worked on several characters with him to pick whatever he would like for either poke, brawl, or a rush. With that being said, Mauga is exceptionally strong right now, so I'm leaving it up to Boo Boo as to whether or not he wants to keep Reinhardt as his brawl pick, or if he wants to transition and also apply the Mauga as an interchangeable. I'm giving him that freedom because I'm confident in his abilities to make that call. So you go ahead and queue into the next game. I'm going to watch you, and we're going to go forward from there. Chat, do y'all have any questions? So, but you only know you love someone, you let them go. Incorrect. I think if you realize that you love someone after they're gone, I think that's too late. I think it'd be a real shame not to realize it
Right.
before.
Malga is more of a he's more of a brawl
Yeah.
rush.
Brawl, he's definitely brawl right. Everyone was saying he was poke. It took me 7 seconds to go. This is a brawl category. Thank you for your mains so I can add you. Gurak do exclamation point battle tag in chat. This is the main one I use for content. My other two accounts I don't use for streaming. They're the two main accounts that I have. Thank you, Walker.
I have them added, but I'm special, so.
Yes. Wait, do you have the Imbris account added?
Yep.
Really? I have to delete you. I'm kidding. You're good. You're good. There's very few people that have access to those two accounts.
I mean, when you're playing those accounts, they don't message you because that's normally when you're tryharding, but still.
Yeah. Well, I also do a lot of experiment testing with like so the Imbris account. I originally had that in order to play with friends and stuff, but I ended up using it to kind of limit test the rank placement system for fresher accounts with low MMR data, and I'm fascinated by it because it's very easily manipulatable. And then the Atlas AV account, that's just used for like clip farming and all that good shit. Okay, Boo Boo is in game. Let's see what you got. Okay, so Antarctic.
So we're Antarctic. I'm playing Reinhardt, and I don't know this. I mean, I know the map, but I don't know what it's called.
So that's a very good question that Gavin had, Boo Boo. I don't understand is how Boo Boo this good at knowing when to matrix certain abilities. Some examples I saw was Fire Strikes, Ana Nades, and Hanzo ult twice. The question is, did he hear them? Was he predicting them? I don't know. You want to answer that, Boo Boo?
The reason why I was doing it was because I saw an ability happen, then they popped another ability. Like the reason why I ate Hanzo was because he was doing his Storm Arrow. So then he popped his Dragon right away because he got no damage or no value out of it. So he's like, I need to get some value. So I predicted what he was doing by forcing him to do it. Okay.
Bruh. There we go. No.
The monkey was still in the behind, sad.
What is wrong with this game? It's letting me view everyone but you, Boo Boo.
Fascinating.
I'll be right there. I love this game so much. The best way to look at it, Gavin, is these are things that he and I have worked on, but it's considering like what are you trading? We'll talk about that in a second.
Not really alone. Okay, we kind of capped that.
Okay. In between these fights, I want you stuffing that corner a bit harder, okay? Deny the
Fair
Widow.
enough.
Okay. Next life, two things. I want you looking to see what angle the Widow's going to try to take, but in between, look to see where their dive is setting up. See if you can stuff that and pressure it early, so when they do dive, they get stuffed a bit. So look to pressure their dive.
Lucio.
There we go, finally. Very nice.
Alright, now. Only
Okay.
take out back.
You're good, you're good. Okay. You rotated left side and you didn't get any healing, which means something is keeping your team from rotating with you. If you
Right.
try to rotate left and
The
you're
Echo
noticing that,
Brig.
then you peel back and you help kill the Echo and Brig, and then you let your team go forward. You have to think about why they're unable to follow you in. So try it that way. So anytime that you create space for your team, if they can't go with you, it's because either A, they don't have their monitors on, or B, there's something preventing them from doing so. So those are the two things that have to go through. I'll go over specific examples of Matrix after this game for you guys, okay? That's what she said.
Alright.
Bro, I really hate this game sometimes. The fact that I can't actually view you is ridiculous.
I got Somber now.
Well, this is what we usually do it in a Discord chat, so I don't have this problem, but we are doing it this way so you guys can see.
Can't rotate fast enough.
Alright, full regroup, no need to stagger. Okay, so where are they positioned up? First thing we need to do is try to rotate our team right side. So they're rotating left, that's absolutely fine. You can either punish the monkey with your team or rotate away. But here we want to keep them out so your team can cross. So wrap right side, wrap right side, wrap right side. Make your team come to you. Hold. There we go. Let them in. Briggs overextended, now you punish. Very nice. Good job. Did that make sense? Where if they're going to commit, you make them commit, they LOS the rest of their team, and then you hard punish with yours.
Right.
Good. Okay, in between the fights, we're just going to poke. We're not going to overextend. I don't like this tickle damage. Let's set up and get some information. There we go. Just poke the monkey out. Wait for the commit. Back up. If you want, you can give them a little bit. They're looking for the dive.
Monkey dived in.
Help your Reaper go backline. Help your Reaper go backline. Whatever your Reaper goes on. Okay. If monkey dies, just hold your ultimate. That's absolutely fine. There we go. Here we can commit ults if we need to.
We lost the fight.
Maybe. You still have bombs, so you can actually stall this out. Because you still have percentage for your team. Nice. Okay, keep it going. Go high, go high, go high. Nice try, nice try. Just dive point if you can. Very nice. So why was that worth it, chat? Because the entire time, they were getting percentage for their team. They just got 45% off of that. That was 100% worth it. Okay. Help your cast. Disgusting. Oh, we're dead.
I was really hoping to just burn her really fast.
No, you're good, you're good. But then also think about what's coming after that.
Right.
It's not just the echo. That's the thing. Okay. So let's go over this together. Let's jump into a practice range together. And we're going to go over a couple different things. And so this is where the whole ebb and flow thing unironically comes up. And this is something that gets very difficult. I personally think that dive does the best in situations like this because most people don't know how to react to dive. And it can be kind of a jarring experience. I think if you take any like higher elo player and you throw them into a dive setting, I think a lot of the good players they'll try to tell you how to do a dive, but they won't know how to run dive mirror or counter a dive. So that's something we're going to go over really quick with Boo Boo, and hopefully this will show you guys some stuff as well. But to answer your question about the knowing the matrix and stuff, best way to put it is this: if someone is doing something that is very predictable, and you're able to use Diva's matrix to go no, that's really valuable. That's what matrix is meant for. It's a no tool. So,
Can't join you.
oh, I'm going to invite you myself. Give me one moment, good sir. Friends, there's Boo Boo. I found him. I found him. I found him. So the idea is this. If you see someone doing an animation like Hanzo has to and crouch right before he's about to use dragons, that's something that you know you can absorb. The best way of looking at it is, am I using matrix just because I see random bullets, or am I using matrix because the bullets that are coming in are actually going to be valuable? A bastion using turret form from 100 meters away, you don't need to waste matrix on that because it's doing little to no damage. And now he's actually getting value because you're wasting a very valuable resource. Versus a Reinhardt that is about to fire strike 3 of your friends that are got shattered on the ground and they're all half HP. That would be a pretty good fire strike to absorb. It's because the value that would have been had, you're able to say no. So think about what you are matrixing is the best way I can describe that scenario. Hi, Boomer. Hey, Storm. Okay, so when we talk about dive setup or we talk about dive or counter dive, Boo Boo, what makes a dive strong? Starts with an R.
An R?
Resources,
Right.
right? The whole game is resources in, resources out. If you make space for your team and your team is able to follow you, that's like you're basically building a bigger wave as opposed to only having a little wave because you're the only one that's there. So a good way of doing it is this, is if you are playing something like a dive tank, what should determine whether or not you're committing cooldowns to the setup versus you are physically walking yourself to the setup has to do with whether or not the dive team that you're going against versus the dive team that you are playing with is there first. A really good rule of thumb. If you are approaching a point that they already control, the good default option statistically is instead of full diving in to set up, you are going to quite literally walk your team to where you would have flown yourself. And you do that by spending more time near them. Because the map control, again, the burden of push is for the attackers, the privilege of map control is for the defenders. They've already had time to set up. So you're going to walk your team into place. Versus if you already have the point control where you are defending, you are able to put yourself in that position early with the understanding that they have all this space to move around in between. So put it into quick little action for you. If let's say that the top of this mega dingy is the point and I have control. Let's say you're starting from there. Go ahead and go down there. And I go, okay, I want to set this up. What happens if you fly straight towards the point? Go ahead and fly straight towards the point.
You can meet me there.
No, I can now go for the things I want, which is the squishies you've left behind. Why? Because I was already defending. I was already where I wanted to be. So what you do instead is you look for the immediate threats that are already nearby, recognize you need to clear that space first. So i.e. coming into my face here, pause, that sounded sussy. And let's say I don't want to be here. I have two options: either stay and die and take the disadvantaged fight. I drop, which then you just now fall back down and finish it because now I'm stuck into a 1v5 situation. Or my other option is I give up this space that you've taken from me. I go back to my team. You now have access to that, and your team no longer has a threat impending. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the priority is this. You're going to clear space, but if they are also running dive, you have to understand that a Reinhardt is not going to be able to get to your team in the same way that a Winston would. So you don't want to trade space if it means leaving your team out to dry because now they can't follow you and you actually end up hurting yourself. Shorty, I'm sorry. It's only inappropriate content. Okay. So for the next one, if we do manage to get in their dive v dive situation, I want you thinking about that actively, boo boo, of like, okay, they already have some map advantage. What can I clear immediately to help those bitches behind me come with me? Okay, don't leave the bitches to die.
Alright,
Okay,
makes
so
sense to me.
you go ahead and queue and let's see what we got here. Chat, did that make any sense? Yes, boba.
Hello, Storm. Hello, Shorty.
Okay. Now, chat, does that make sense? If we're playing a dive tank and you jump into their backline and you go, "Where's my healing?" and you turn around and you're like, "Why is my team dead?" Well, it's because there was shit back there that killed them. So you have two options. Either you go, "Okay, well, maybe I should kind of help them so they don't just explode," or you just go, "Nope, I'm actually GM. My teammates are idiots." Murr, 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 murr. You got two options.
And what Alice was doing is what I was doing. I was like, all right, this is the spot where I'm holding. My team should
Mhm,
be rotating with me. I made the mistake not be able to go back there because I'm the higher ranked player.
mhm,
Like this account right now is Diamond and probably in Diamond MMR, Diamond
mhm,
Masters. And I was thinking everyone else is as skilled as I am. It's not. So that reason why I lost that game was because I was thinking everybody knew what they were doing.
mhm. Yes, Storm.
I'm an
Peel
idiot
is
for
best
that.
option. Okay. So Peel is best option. And now a lot of people talk about you need to peel for your team. That's what peel looks like, if any of you all were confused. Peeling refers to, oh, my team needs help. I'm going to help them. And it doesn't matter if you're on support, doesn't matter if you're on tank, doesn't matter if you're on DPS. Peeling is quite literally, my team needs help. How can I help them? And that will be the deciding factor. If you are going forward and your team cannot, maybe stop for a second, safely see why. Oh, there's people shooting at them, or they're all emoting in spawn. Fuck, and then make a decision based on that. Yeah.
Alright, so there's one there. Zarya's there. Brick's there. Genji's here. Use no deflag, no deflag kill. No bubbles. This thing needs to go. I'm gonna rotate mid. No. Interesting. I should have. One bubble. Both bubbles. Alrighty, so Lisa's coming down here. The Junker Queen. They're right here, so I'm just gonna go like this. Trying to force that wall out. Good. You don't have wall or that, so you're dead. Briggs high ground. Brick has dropped. But team is dead because they rotate too slow. No.
Okay.
Wall is out.
Here we can trade back lines if we need to.
Yeah, but we already lost my back line, so.
Fair, fair, fair. Let's see what you got.
No,
Nice.
it's not cooldown.
Something that'd be interesting, and this was not this fight, was the last fight. If you ever notice that your team is struggling to kind of get with you or they get caught in the open, your ultimate is actually a really nice way of doing what? Spatial denial, or making it so it's at least not free space. So if you notice that your team's about to be absolutely like just schlonged and jumped and sped on, your ult is a really way of saying, hey, you can't do it for free. And you might just save some teammates in the process and set up kills because now they're committing resources into going into the open.
No, that's bad.
It's all good. Unlucky, unlucky. That is going to be theirs for the round.
Yep, that's their fight.
Unlucky, unlucky. So if we do stay Ram, I want you looking for more opportunities to use your ultimate. With Diva, there's advantages to holding it because you can use it in like the perfect opportunities for second life and spatial denial. Rams you can use a little bit more aggressively because keep in mind you do have Nemesis form for sustain into ultimate. And so once your ultimate runs out, you have Nemesis again. So that chain sustain is unbelievably strong for setting up solo plays, as well as just dying a whole bunch of space. How does one get live coaching? So, Anika, this is a sponsored segment. You can message me if you're serious about doing something like this. It does come. This is not a normal session. The normal session's 50. This is a lot more in depth. It's also live. There's a bunch of stuff going on. We kind of pick your brain. This is a much bigger thing, and it is more expensive.
Yeah.
Would it be better odds shield than punch sim?
No.
No, because
You
she'll
don't wanna
build
shield her.
energy. Yeah, she'll build energy off the shield.
And she also heal herself, unless they took out
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. You don't want to shield a sim.
Alright, so Brig. You can't block me now. My Chunkmate's still
Unlucky.
behind, though.
Hmm.
Do better.
You barely hear Boo Boo. I'll make him louder.
Going back to higher ground. Team's still low, but they shouldn't be. I'm not fighting up there alone. That's foolish. Nope, not going out there. Behind. Chunk man. Briggs up top. Walls use. Free or cryo. That's not great.
noticing a rushing from their JQ and their Lucio, same as before. Think about what are they rushing every single fight. Pattern recognition, boo boo.
They're rushing
Let's
the Echo and the Soldier. The
okay.
Echo's able to get out, but the Soldier's not.
So we can keep an eye on our DPS. Trade with the JQ a bit more. Stop her from being able to rush her backline. Right now, right now, right now. Do it. There we go. There we go. Hold that space. Hold that space and block. You can give space back to your spawn if you need to. That's absolutely fine. There we go. JQ's caught off. Push her. Very nice. Now retake the high ground with your team. You're down both of 2 picks, but we can at least space this out. Ignore that. Ignore that. Ignore that. Pressure main. Okay. Now hold this space. Your team will be back soon.
They'll freeze. Die. Nope, you're not dying.
You have to live. Now Nemesis in. Very nice.
Beat.
Hold it, hold it. Try to rotate back. Give space, give space, give space, give space, give space. Snaring back, snaring back, snaring back, snare back. Take top left with your soldier. There you go. Hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, 1. Push into their sim. Very nice. That was nice. That was nice, though. That was active. You were looking for a response. When they try to collapse on your team, your ultimate is really good of saying, back the fuck up. And if you need to hold space, having that active damage going while you're able to block and hold is also going to be really, really nice.
Alright, so... Brig is low. Break center, break center, break center. And I'm dead.
Anuki, Anuki. Okay. So there we had some issues with their JQ going on. When we talked about that same concept with like how having the counter dive being able to get to your backline, the
Right.
the presence of rush of enabling that, that's very similar. Now you have to look at it this way. The same way a monkey would dive, the same way a JQ would use her shout to go in, she now doesn't have it out. You see that play where I was coaching you through it and the JQ shouted in, but you actually reacted to her and she got stuck and you hard punished her. We need more of that. We need to be way, way, way more disrespectful when they fuck up and they use a cooldown that is either an in or an out and they're only using it as an in. That is a weakness that we have to exploit. So we need to be way more disrespectful when it comes to that. We're kind of giving them way too much for that. So that's going to be the same response. Again, pattern recognition. If you notice that the JQ is being super fucking predictable and she keeps rotating into soldier echo, echo gets away, soldier echo, echo gets away, soldier echo, echo doesn't get away, whatever the heck that echo messed up that once. It is our job to help enable that forward. Does that make sense? If you cannot stay on the point alone because you are not going to live, look to see if you can enable your team while they're making a play, and then you can go for the point touch. I'd rather have you give up an extra 5, 10, 15% if it means you actually secure the fight, because in the fight that's coming up, you guys will have map control as a privilege. Okay. Let's see what else you got here. The role can sometimes be a difference between the other role dying or not. Storm, the best way I would say the whole Zarya bubble thing, it's the same with any character. Can you kill them? If a Mei uses her ice block and she doesn't have it, she's easier to kill. If a Zarya has 2 bubbles in high energy, you probably aren't going to get too much value from breaking her bubbles because she already has high energy, but if she's good, she doesn't need to use them in the first place. If a Zarya is stuck in the open, she's got no cover, no help, or even if she does have help, if she's wasting her bubbles, absolutely punish her for it, because then she'll be more scared to, like, as soon as the bubble comes back, use it again. So getting her to waste them is very good. That's the idea. Okay, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Boo boo.
It's Midtown. I'm defending, and I'm playing Reinhardt. The goals for
Okay.
Reinhardt.
I like the hammer, by the way.
Oh yeah, only costs $26.
Hey, but here's the thing. Boo Boo's a baller. He makes money. He works hard. Boo Boo out here flexing on these hoes. Metaphorically. As
Metaphorically.
well, no, I think you would be very respectful of women IRL.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
That's what I'm saying. He's a gentleman, but he ain't afraid to keep his pimp hand strong, you know? So you shout, punish with punch.
I got a Hanzo's.
What color is your Bugatti? Oh, hacking.
I'm not gonna
Our,
push it.
our Genji just inted.
Yep.
Now here we can still kind of mini hold. So let's see what you got. Just gonna hold this. There we go.
He's all alone.
Disgusting.
Nope, now I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why our support left.
Unlucky, unlucky.
We had a life weaver. Dead.
It's all good. So why do I still not like the jumpy in for the Hanzo kill? Because they still have a damage boosted tank. Damn, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a lightsaber. It's great.
Chat, now I want these. I wish I wasn't poor. Alright, we're fine. We got this. Good trade. Really nice movement there. Good clean patience. I love that. A big thing about Rhine is you don't always have to get 9 kills. You can go in, draw a shitload of aggro, pressure someone out, maybe get a pick on a squishy, and then let the rest of your team kind of envelop them. It's a wonderful thing to be aware of. Okay, now we hold, wait for the push, and we punish. Oh my god. Chat, he's built so different, it hurts. Okay, now we punish Ana and we go straight in for their face holes. Very nice. 3, 2... Here we have to let... Oh, what did we drop? Shield, Boo Boo, I'm gonna squeeze you!
I thought the life weaver was gonna grip me.
Okay, we need to keep that soldier out. We need to keep the soldier out. Good. Very nice. Oh, he's disgusting. Oh, he's disgusting, chat. Disgusting. Okay. Moore's got the high ground. This might be a fat stagger. Let's see what we got. Right there. Oh my god, he's so fucking cute. He's... Oh. Oh. Better. 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 Hold. No, hold, hold. You're so fun.
I thought the tree was gonna keep me up. I'm sorry.
You're good. Now, there'll be a couple things we're going to go over here that was really, really big, especially when I told him to go on that soldier there. We'll talk about that in a second, okay, chat? Fucking disgusting.
Come here. Come here, thank you.
Maki, more like Taki in out the trash. Ah, shit.
Bad.
We're having fun, though. Everyone makes mistakes, y'all. It's recognizing why, or how, or what do we do next.
Well, the team's still keeping it together. That's the scary thing.
Mm-hmm. They're saying DPS chasm. Nah, bro, you're getting tank diff to the Shadow Realm, bro. I think half their DPS deaths are to fire strikes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, DPS diff, my left testicle. Okay. GG. And then the Mercy who kept getting sniped. Okay, yeah, y'all are hard coping.
By fire strikes, no less.
Hard coping. I had 1200 DPS boost. Yeah, what the fuck were you boosting? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, Canyon. Okay, so what we're going to talk about really quick is we're actually going to pull up that last game. So chat, this is where the actual teaching comes because we are also going to do some application and then we're going to let Boo Boo show off his awesomeness as well. But we do want to take a look at this together. Boo Boo, will you please give me the code for the last game that you just participated in?
Yeah, I can.
Thank you so much.
History, replays, share.
Oh, is it on the Discord? Oh, I'm checking it out. See what you got. Or if you just read it out loud, I'll type it in. It's entirely up to you.
FHT W4Q.
W4Q. Okay. So this part right here, my guy is on that copium tank. But it's okay. It's the DPS's fault, right? He just got fucking rolled. I'm so proud of Boo Boo right now. I'm so proud of Boo Boo. Multiple characters, multiple understandings. Now, a really big moment is right here. The Ana trade is nice and decent. Okay, so chat. This is where it gets very interesting. I want y'all to pay attention to this fun awesomeness, okay? So we're going to back this up just a little bit. And we're going to talk about a little bit about chokes, okay? So chat, where is the choke on this map? It's right here.
Choke, yeah, it's by the train station.
We call this what is this, caution red and white line, low clearance bar. This is where the choke is, right? It's going underneath this fun awesomeness. Now, while they're here, if we're just talking straight up blunt, we're just looking at size of shields and whatnot. As Reinhardt, if you really wanted to, you could stand in between the two taxis, hold your shield up, and you could block all that damage, but it wouldn't last very long. So primarily, what you're going to be doing when you're playing tank and you're guarding this choke is you're going to be picking either the left side or the right side, and you're going to be holding it. However, here's the thing. You can stand at one, but that does not mean you ignore the other. Does that make sense?
Yes.
A big thing that a lot of Rhine players do that is you're very much missing the point that is technically a big thing for all tanks in particular, being the front line, is you can stand in one place at a time. You cannot stand in multiple places at a time. However, if you have a way of denying or applying pressure by standing somewhere, as well as putting pressure elsewhere with either an ability, moving yourself over to that point and repositioning, this is how you become a lot more recognizably present in a fight. And you can really feel the difference if the enemy tank is actually denying a lot of space versus they're just standing there going, wish me luck, guys, my mom's watching. You know, that's the difference. So what we're about to see is Boo Boo doing a really nice, fantastic job of physically holding one half of this arc of the choke by taking good cover. And when I call out the repositioning on the soldier, there's going to be a reason why, and I want y'all to see that reason. So take a look at this with me here. Ready? Let's do the spectate overlay. We're going to push the play button. We're being chillin'. There's the res. There's the pushing. This is all fine and dandy. Anti goes off. We go with the trade. The ram is walking, but our tank has separated the resources from the ram. So the ram now has to push into our resources with no help. We now leave the Ramatra, and our Reinhardt, Boo Boo, single-handedly kept 4 people out of the fight. We call that pulling aggro. Okay, we come back, we peel, we're now re-present. Now watch this with the soldier. So this right here, by standing at this left taxi, we are able to hold and control this space. The enemy team has two options. They can either shoot at Boo Boo, or they can recognize that slightly off to Boo Boo's right, he cannot shield that, therefore it is space that they're going to attempt to take. As Reinhardt, what you can do with your all your wonderful health and shields and your big hammer daddy energy is you go, that soldier's looking to shoot at my team, and there's nothing stopping him. And that is where you then check the soldier. You don't full int, like that first fight where I said where you went in on the Hanzo, but you went too deep and you got punished for it. The value there is already to deny the Hanzo value, and if he overextends, then you punish, right? Versus you go in and you get the kill, but there are other things to now respond to you because you've used your cooldown to now aggressively reposition in, and now how much time it'll take for you to get out is significantly too long of a time because of how fast they can respond and punish you. In GM, that would have been a hard feed and you would have instantly exploded, and the Hanzo maybe even would have lived. The difference is that it's going to be something you'll noticeably notice in low elo is that you could probably get away with that pin and no one's going to punish you because they're just going to be like, the Hanzo is going to be like, why didn't you heal me, Mercy? I know it's a one-shot Reinhardt pin, but still, why didn't my Ana cleanse me? It's like they're going to say some stupid shit. So the idea is that when you're going in for these all-out hit or miss plays as Ryan, you have to ask yourself, what are you trading with? What is actually being done? So when we see the soldier look to pressure our team and I make the call to go on the soldier,
He's
watch.
alone.
It's not only that he's alone, it's that anything that he's trying to do, wait for it, you're now saying back up and look at the response. You've split their Moira from the rest of the team. The soldier is no longer able to shoot in value. He now has a tank up his asshole. The Mercy is now under pressure to either now get off of their tank and peel for the soldier, which means then the Hanzo is now alone and the Moira continues to be. Like, look at how many choices you just forced on the enemy team. The soldier now has to deal with you directly. The Moira now has to decide whether or not she stays there in danger or fades back into the team, which unironically puts her in more danger because now you could potentially fire strike her. The Hanzo is now going to be either a pressure point that the Mercy is going to either have to heal the Mercy, or is either going to have to heal the Hanzo, is either going to have to help the Moira, is either going to have to help the soldier, and the Ramatra is not going to be able to react in time, and if he does, he actually has to stop shooting the rest of your team. So you've pulled aggro from them, you've put two minimum of their players in a really rough situation in unfavorable matchups. You've got plenty of health and armor to do so. You've stopped them from advancing forward. You've retaken space. You've split someone from their team. And you've also caused both of their supports to now have to make panic decisions in terms of where they go. Ram has to turn for Reinhardt. Exactly. So if he turns for the Reinhardt, he's now no longer shooting at the rest of the team. And now his team can now walk forward and continue to pressure the choke. That's why this was such a good play. You've pulled resources, you've pulled aggro, you've denied a rotation, you've forced choices on their back line, and you've stopped their advances from walking forward from their front line. And you did that with one repositional move. All you did was pin in and deny the soldier. Soldier's shit value is gone. Hanzo's value is gone. Moira split from her team. Mercy has to panic. Ram can't push. And you did that with one cooldown, Boo Boo. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. No CC, good charge right there. Well, not too deep, because by going here, all these things that he just did are already valuable, Storm. None of them have gotten a kill immediately, but they could lead to a kill, or at the very least, they make it very difficult for the rest of their team to have to kill anything. Remember, the burden of push is on the attacking team. The privilege of map control is for the defenders. The best thing about the fact that Boo Boo is defending is he has a whole map to kind of play with and make these decisions off of. He does not have to kill them technically. It will most likely end up that they end up dying, but they are the ones that have to push Boo Boo and his team. They are the ones that have to stand on the payload. I'm in a game as tank. Oh, and good luck. Shitting bitches. Diamond 2, good luck. Okay. That was all I wanted to go over with you, Boo. Let's go on to the next game. Let's see what you got. I'm actually super happy you haven't had to play Malga. I'm so glad. Your Ryan is amazing. I really want them to nerf that stupid fucking character. I think
Well, my opinion is that my goal is to get better with these three heroes.
Mhm.
Malga, you don't really need anything to win with him. My win rate with him on GM3, I'm pretty close to GM2, but with that is 85%. I don't know the hero. Well, there should be no reason for that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, but Lifeweaver can pull him in case. Yes, they could, Storm, but we have to play with getting the value that we know we can get because the Mauga, or I'm sorry, because the Lifeweaver, if she sucks or he sucks, whoever's playing it, if they don't know to pull them, then they don't know to pull them. So if you get it, cool. If you don't get it, I'm okay. I can carry without it. That's the mentality you should have.
I'm
Your
defending on
team,
Rialto,
very
and
nice.
I'm playing Ram.
I like the skin, by the way.
I
Pay
try.
to win, technically. So the reason that Mauga is bad is because Mauga has you can't counter swap against Mauga, and Mauga gets too much value from just shooting the other person's tank, which is fundamentally not how you should play the game. There's no other tank in the game where if you just spend the majority of your time focusing their tank, you should get that much value, or any value really, technically. You
It's
should
not
always,
pay to win. It's either pay to win or play to win.
yeah, you have to like
Because you
hard
can still
grind it.
earn it.
Yeah.
They want Doom. They have Lifeweaver. They have Alari.
Mhm.
I still have yet to see a DPS though.
You can early snare that if you need to. Oh,
They want
just
Bastion.
farm damage. Your Doom goes into your backline, snare him, and you can keep shooting main. Nice. It's amazing, Storm. You already scared one of them away. That's very nice. Snare the Doom once he goes in and just keep pressuring his backline. Easy peasy.
Ooh.
Snare the Doom. You see that? Do you like that?
Yeah.
Very nice. There's no way. Alari first there, but you're good. Oh my god. There's the Sigma. Here you can actually snare him early. That works too. We're fine. And he gets close to you, you fist his face hole. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Now you're going to look for the Alari ult. And you're going to hold space with your ultimate in response. Hey, Sleeper. You're chilling. You're fine. Okay, so shield on top of the payload if you want. You can actually maybe even cheekily block everything. Unlucky. Unlucky. I should have said it faster. I should have said shield for the hook instead of saying blocking it. I wasn't specific enough. My bad, boo-boo. I saw the hog pick and I was like, ah.
I, yeah. It's special. Don't worry about it. I didn't even know they switched Hog.
I'm also talking during this. It's a little bit harder for him to focus. I totally understand. Okay. Let's make space for your team. Go in. Disgusting. Illegal. 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 You're so fired. Nice, nice, nice. Hog should die there.
Oh,
No, there's the
yeah, you're
NC.
thinking.
No, we got it. We got it. See how they're a little low to respond, but you did what needed to get done. You forced a pull, you forced a reposition, you got a punish. Hog wasted cooldowns, he's stuck in the open. You denied the rest of their backline out. That was fine.
natural of 5v4, which is a weird thing.
Boomer juice is coffee, Sleeper. You know, it's coffee. Boomers love coffee.
My corner.
My corner, yes, my corner. Oh, that's huge. Oh, that's a McFister Kister. Nice. True about coffee. I like coffee. I'm 57 years old and I like coffee.
57.
Mm-hmm.
Hog is still to the right. I don't want to curious that way.
Don't let him hoop. Oh, he's so silly. He just wasted his ult. Okay, wait for it. No, that was a shit one. Yeah, your shield blocked it, bro. Okay, snare and trade. There we go. Remember, snare first, because then you can collapse on them and they can't get away as easily.
They're pushing point. I'm scared.
So look at it this way, chat. When you're playing Ramatra, your peel tool is your primary and it's your snare. It's not your nemesis. I moaned. Is that bad? Nah, Storm. That must be some really good coffee. Let's watch me crumble under the weight of anxiety.
Do you care if I grab a snack real quick? I'm getting shaky hungry.
No, absolutely. Do what you gotta do. So, Sleeper, and this is for everybody else. What we're doing right now with Boo Boo, this is not a normal coaching session. So our coaching sessions are $50 and they're an hour. This is a 2-hour segment that we feature live on stream. This does cost more money, and there's more that goes into it. But yeah, this is a bigger thing. Sleeper, if you are interested, I will message you details, but there's a lot more that goes into this. You also get access to my blueprint program. So I go over that stuff with you, which is very, very secret, hush, hush, shush, shush. But, you know, there's a lot more that goes onto this behind the scenes. But yeah. This is for basically if you hit Masters or GM, you become eligible, for lack of a better word. Bum, bum, bum. Gotta enjoy my bulking milkshakes. Boomer, if you have a good bulking milkshake recipe, drop it in the cooking thing in the Discord. I'd take a look at it. I'm always interested in like what kind of weight gain shapes you guys have. I've always been very thin, and the best shape I ever got into was when I was exercising. But yeah, packing in calories, that's hard to do. So will do. I appreciate that. I will be taking a look at that, Boomer. Thank you. Ba-dum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum. Now, chat, do y'all have any questions about the stuff that we're going over? Do you guys have questions about tanks, matchups, characters, how to use their cooldowns, what to do, use your cooldowns? The 3 characters that you've seen Boo Boo use have been Reinhardt, Ramatra, and Diva. Do y'all have any questions about their cooldowns, when to use them, tank 1v1 matchups, combos, peeling, not peeling, anything like that? We were talking about how when the Doomfist was diving his backline, we would snare him and then help poke him out as opposed to leaving the payload and going after the Doom. Did that make sense why we do that? We want to be able to contribute as much as possible with as least amount of effort and at least amount of time it takes to do it. So that's why we do that. The snare we can throw from where we're standing. It will slow him down, making him easier to hit from all of my teammates. And you can poke him from far away while you're still contesting. That's why we do the snare with the poke. And right before we do Nemesis or right before we're about to ult into someone, it's a good habit to snare, even snare and shield as well, because then it slows down whatever you're now collapsing onto. So I don't dare count as GG. I just haven't counted how many calories it has. Oh, Boomer, you're good. It's fun to sometimes share those recipes. Okay. Boo Boo, how do you feel? Do you need water or do you need to stretch your legs, anything like that?
I'm good.
Okay. Good, good, good. I'm going to pull up something so we have it as a reference. Ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum. Ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-da-da-da. Okay, so for the next map, that third layer that we were talking about, for like the pathing, the big cooldowns, and stuff like that, I want you to do for this next one is kind of talk out loud for us a little bit. So you go ahead and queue into a game, and then what we're gonna have you do is I want you to kind of out loud, kind of verbally be like, okay, where am I going? That's where I'm gonna go, and then we're gonna pay attention to which path you choose to get there. And then if you notice like a big cooldown getting called out, you've already been doing this a little bit. I want you to do that as well. Understand how to extract Overwatch miles and how to import them to SMA. No, Gavin, you're good, big dog. We're happy to have you here. If you have questions and stuff like that about the coaching or things like that, we got you. But we're happy to have you here. But yeah, so I want you to kind of out loud describe the process. Like, where am I going? Where do I want to go? If you're like, I'm just chilling here for a second, cool. Or if you go, Hanzo's pressuring, I'm rotating, and then we'll pay attention to where you path and where you rotate. Okay.
All right.
Bum bum ba
In the
dum
game,
bum.
by the way.
3, 2, 1. Samoa. I get big brain. Storm, you already have a big brain. You good. Let's see what Boo Boo's got here. Oh, Storm, we should buy a boat like that. That's what we should do, right? We should buy boats.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go top right for a little bit first.
Okay.
Should have took that. You want Diva, Sojourn. You got a Genji. So I need to play a little closer to the team. You want I also have a Fab. Genji's behind. No deflect. Matrix is low. No lamp. Genji's far left. Can't really do much about it though.
Owen, mute them. Mute match call, mute them. If they want to be fuckers, let them be fuckers.
Alright, no fly. Can we burn that? Burn that. Nope.
Yes, 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 yes. Rawr. Okay, now what did you see that made you want to go in?
Oh, I saw the lamp.
You saw the lamp. So he saw a cooldown that would make his ult less awesome. They used the cooldown, and then he started shitting in bitches. That's nice, Owen.
Alright, so Sojourn's got her beam. No fly.
Oh, you're dead. You greedy little son of a fish.
I was hoping for a cleanse. She walked away.
You
Please
went
don't ban
too
that though.
you went too deep, step bro. You
Oh
went
yeah.
for that. You went for the sojourn. There was a wall behind you. Luckily, that was enough. You pulled every single
Sojourn's the
cooldown.
most scariest player or person on their team.
Mhm.
If I let Sojourn have that much space, that's gonna be too dangerous.
And
He's
luckily,
like
their diva
DPS
is
too.
just their diva is just trading with you the entire time. So
Yeah, she's not playing diva right.
there's nothing wrong with going, hey, their tank's a dumbass, and then just letting them kind of tickle you while you devalue the rest of her team. That's probably like the most noticeable way of telling a tank diff is if one tank is just trading with yours, and then your tank is actually putting pressure elsewhere. It is night and day difference. What I think that is something that I really like to like stress this enough is when your supports are doing fuck all, a lot of people they don't like blaming supports for some reason. They don't like attacking them. They're like, no, no, no. I'm like, your supports suck nuts. Why aren't you calling them out for their bullshit? And I think it's because they get so defensive. Like people have no problem blaming the tank for everything, but when your supports are fucking horrible, they have no problem saying anything.
They have a Pharah, but I'm gonna see if I can hold this pillar right here to keep the
Okay,
supports out.
nice. Farah's gonna get hard healing because she has a
Oh yeah,
BAP and an
definitely.
Ana, so it's gonna be hard to heal her anyway.
One second.
Oh, this is where we start touching bitches. Left, 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 left. Oh, 1 second on that fisting.
Oh,
It's actually winnable. Damn, that was a good shot. A body and you would have lived that too. That's crazy. Your team might be able to clean your soldiers in the flank and their low matrix. Damn.
yeah. Pharah's now down too, and they don't have. They only have Alana, right? Yeah, we won that fight.
Very nice. Yeah, like I said, your soldier already had the flank and your diva burned low. Their diva is like 100% horrible.
And yeah, I'm kind of
I
concerned
did,
why they're
Sleeper.
in this elo. I mean,
What is their diva doing? Just face tanking? See, another GM player that's going, what the fuck? Nice! Soul ult them. Do it. Do it. Disgusting. There we go. Space out the diva. Now we just live. Ah, you're diffing. Yeah, watch. Two people leave. Watch. Two people are going to leave. And their diva's going to start crying.
yeah,
Oh.
it's weird. Why would he fight the Pharah alone?
If she turns this corner without her supports, you bop her. No. No, you're dead.
No, I'm dead.
Damn.
I'm dead. I'm dead. 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 Dead.
Oh, damn. She almost saved
What?
you? Dude, but you see how much your Kiriko believed in you there? Like, she went for
Yeah.
it. She's like, our tank's a Giga Chad. It's quick play. I ain't even mad. And your soldier went for the flank. Did you see how much... Okay, let's talk about this for a second. Look how much confidence, straight up, Boo Boo is giving the rest of his team. They have all the room in the world to just move, dance, giggle, tickle, pillow fight, whatever the hell they want to. And they're this like almost cocky because their tank is just doing like, oh my god, I can go wherever the fuck I want to. Boo Boo's doing a great job. I'm so proud of Boo Boo right now.
Oh, it's huge. Bye, Pharah. Bye, Pharah. No, die.
Disgusting. Oh my gosh. What is your current opinion on Nanoblade?
I'm still confused about why they nanoed the diva.
I'll tell you in a second, Real. You're very close to my opinion.
Go, go. Thank you.
Very nice. All right. Game's over. So my opinion about Nanoblade. So you guys know how I feel about combos. Very well done, Boo Boo. Tank Canyon. Tank Canyon. Tank Canyon. Anyway, so you guys already know how I feel about combos in this game already. I think like grab dragon, I think it's absolutely nonsense. So here's the thing. This is why most players should not worry about combos in the first place, even less now in Overwatch 2 than Overwatch 1. Is number one, if you have, let's say, Nanoblade, we'll use Nanoblade as an example. If you have an Ana and it takes her, let's say, 80 seconds to build a nano, like she's cooking, right? And the Genji has gotten one blade. Like he's at like 37% by the time Nano has been farmed, right? So what that means is just as a baseline of like mathematics, at the current rate of which both players are farming, yes, there's maybe some jumps and drops, but just with that data alone, the Ana is farming Nano at twice the rate of the Genji, which means either the Genji is now going to have to double down and be twice as awesome just to keep up, or more realistically, is the Ana is now going to be holding Nano, which means she's effectively taken all of the ults she could have had this game and cut them in half. And that is just a hindrance. That is not productive whatsoever. So if you have the two players and they have the same ult charge coming together, and it is an ultimate that can be a win condition, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. However, the reason I don't like a lot of these combos in the first place, especially involving a DPS ultimate, is because most DPS ults are super shit anyway. And at this point of the game, I think it's probably the most valuable you can do sometimes as a DPS is use your DPS ultimate to complement a play you're already making, or use it to trade with a more valuable cooldown. Think about it. What ultimates as DPS characters have full team wipe potential solely on their own? The only ones that
On their own.
solely on their own. No nano boost, no damage boost, no follow up from the team, nothing. The only one that's kind of close to that, basically, is going to be like a May Freeze.
Yeah, I was thinking May Freeze or Reaper. But even then, if no one's helping the Reaper, he's gonna explode. Same thing with Pharah.
Thank you,
Sombra
Boomer.
EMP is not gonna work. Wall doesn't do much.
Junk tire can be, but in terms
It
of
can.
that would usually be better used or more proficiently on getting a solo or a two pick roar.
Right.
Like your best tires, I'd be willing to put money on it, roar, that helped you turn fights, are the ones where you kill like that one or two people, maybe, that are the ones that are like really valuable. Or if
Yeah.
you force like a transcendence or something. If you're consistently getting five mans with tire, it's because their team is shit. Mercy, yeah, like stopping a Mercy, tire Mercy every time. So stuff like that. You're trading a support life and a res for your ultimate. That's 100% worth it. Sojourn ult, but that's just a very situational. And even then, you want to use it for follow up.
Yeah.
If you get two kills on Blade, that's 5v3. Exactly. So what I'm getting at is this: if you are going to take a nano and give it to a Genji, and as just one ultimate invested, you're able to get the picks that you need. If you can do it with less, I think it's better. Nano Blade together is a two ultimate investment, and you sometimes maybe end up putting your Ana at risk having to peek an unadvised angle, and your Genji has to full in commit. So number one, the Genji cannot miss, and even if he is amazingly cracked super, there are simple cooldowns that can take that entire ultimate and say fuck you no. And that is that the high risk to high reward is very dangerous. It's the same
Even
thing with like grab dragon. What happens if grab gets eaten and the dragon gets eaten? Like a diva can hit matrix or a sigma can hit, or even a genji can deflect, or a cleanse can happen, or a lamp can happen. Like there's a lot that can go wrong. And if you're investing a shitload of multiple ultimates into something, and the likelihood that someone could push a single button and just say no, I don't think it's worth it. I would rather solo blade for a single pick or to finish off of a kill. Even it's like, let's say you go in, everything gets super low, you pop your blade and you get an extra dash and then you can finish targets with blade. I am totally fine with that. And maybe then you use nano independently on Genji. I am more for that personally because otherwise it becomes very, very meh. Now, there's some comps if you run Genji into because you're stubborn or you only play Genji. If you don't have Nano Blade, you're not doing fuck all. So it's kind of situational real. Won't nano you anymore. Good luck. That's what I'm saying. It is situationally, but you have to understand what you're investing versus what you're trying to get out of it. Mercy can heal junk alt? No, 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 no. Okay. Boo Boo, how do you feel about the whole pairing and doubling down on ultimates, like return on investment style talking?
I, in general, I don't like it at all. Like you said, there's a lot of things that can just deny it entirely. So when I want to use an alt, I want to use it to deny things, not actually to like enhance. Like so, if my Reinhardt's getting pushed and now I'm playing Ana, I'm gonna nano that Reinhardt because it changes the way that the fight will moves. I don't want to do the combos because in general, if they have a Zarya, the um, Genji def or Genji is nano Genji is not gonna work. Same thing with Malga. He's gonna just hit his Q button and he's gonna deny you.
Mm-hmm.
So when I use an alt, I use it to deny or even to push something out. That's
The
my opinion on it.
it's like return on investment. If the Mauga can push a button and now trap a Genji blade and kill them, well, we just traded one ultimate for two,
For
and maybe
two,
other people got trapped in there as well. So you just got rid of two ultimates for your Mauga ult, and maybe you also trapped like their Reinhardt or something. So you guaranteed a fight win, and you got two major ults out of it or something like that. Versus
right?
if an Ana gets a really nice nade in, that on its own might be enough to secure a team fight. So it really comes down to ultimates are really potentially impactful resources that aren't always readily available, but you still have to weigh the options of what am I going to get out of this? And that's why when a team is like, oh, fuck, we just used all of our alts, that's why that's a bad thing because they are valuable. So it's really good not to waste them. But it's also why we have a lot of low elo players that the very first thing I do is I look to see how often they're ulting and also how often they're using their cooldowns. Because half the time y'all have really valuable shit in front of you and you're like, I don't want to waste it, or you just don't even think about using it. It's like, it's good not to waste, but if you never use it in the first place,
Right.
like what?
But
Like,
even when I'm playing soldier, I keep my visor for when something's attacking. Either there's a blade in front of me, or the
Mhm.
Pharah is now gonna start alting. So I use it to deny space, deny what you're trying to do.
Absolutely. You could trade
Even with
visor for a
Sojourn,
yeah.
even with Sojourn, I saw Farah come up the one time when I was playing ranked, and I knew she had ults, so I popped my ult and destroyed her and rolled Ana and Mercy. It's you use it to deny, and that's what my personal opinion with ults.
If you have like a kitsune that goes off and you want a visor in response to that, nothing wrong with that.
I even shattered those like Kusune
Mhm.
Rush, like
They alt,
it's
you alt. Zarya grab, shatter, hell, even Ram alts. Those are really, really nice for those. Really, really
yeah.
good. They all of a sudden have more resources going live and you're already, defending the position. You use it in response and then you at least collide. Do you get a chance to see that TikTok montage I cooked? I have not yet. Owen, where did you stick it? Wanderington. Did you put it in the Discord? If you put it under the self promotion tab or put it in the video clips one, not the stream highlights, the other one. That one's for you. Gloomy, I don't know why you're swearing at me. Gloomy Tajats lady. That's your real name.
But yeah, when I was going against him, this was a GM4 game. I was playing Malga, and the other hero was playing, or the other tank was playing Zarya. The Zarya grabbed, I just Malga'd it because now they had to push into me, and now it's my territory. I have unlimited rounds and unlimited abilities. It's just to deny.
Mhm.
Even like when I'm just using Malga, I use my ultimate to deny space, not really to capture people, but like, hey, now I want to go peek, and now so I use it and just stay in my barrier because it's a 2,000 health barrier. I have my shift. I have unlimited rounds. It's very very impactful.
Chilling, big chilling. All right, Boo Boo. At this point, what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna have you run one more game if you're feeling up for it, and then I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Is Boo Boo? We're gonna pull up that very first game where you guys full held on Gibraltar, and I want you through the eyes of a tank player. You and I are going to actually review what made their team struggle in terms of their front line. So basically,
So
their
you
tank.
want the Gibraltar game?
Yes, that's what we're going to look at. And we're going to have you basically, we're not going to cook and roast the enemy tank, but I want Boo Boo because he was once in this, like he was once silver, now he's GM. So in along that long road of him really applying himself, he's learned a lot of mistakes. I'm sorry, he's learned a lot from his mistakes. And I'm curious to see Boo Boo's analysis of how well he is at spotting those said mistakes. And chat, this is also for y'all to chime in if you see some stuff and you're like, oh shit, their tank totally shouldn't have done that because of XYZ, I want to hear you guys chime in. If you have questions, this is for y'all's benefit as well. This is a very big thing Boo Boo's doing. And because he sponsored this segment, you guys also get to see behind the scenes of the learning process. There's a lot of cool stuff that goes into this. So
Thank you, Shorty. So the code is R34WBN.
R34WBN. Let's see. Let's see how good my memory is. R34WBN. And chat, if you guys want to also look at it on your screens at home, if you're on your computers, that again is RW4. So, no, I already suck. Never mind. Hold on. R34WBN. What was it? Yeah, R34WBN.
It's posted in chat.
Thank you, Boo Boo. You're awesome face. I'm proud of Boo. Thank you, Roar.
You. All right.
Okay, so we have a game right here. Let's see what you got. And then we'll look at the Gibraltar map together. And we're going to have Boo Boo pick apart where the enemy tank kept fucking up and why we shouldn't do that, okay? So we're going to look at bad mistakes, whether it's, they're waiting around, they're not doing anything, they look lost, they look confused, things like that, okay? We're going to call that stuff out so you guys can see what it looks like from the receiving end and, what to do in those situations. Because sometimes if you're...
seconds.
Gotcha. You're at 34 seconds right now?
Yep.
Oh, I thought we were going to do one more game and then go over the review.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I want you to be able to focus on the next game, and then we'll go over stuff.
Okay.
Right on, right on. I'm too slow. No, you're good. You're good, Roar. Roar here also is a GM player. Chat. He had GM with Moira.
Roar, Shorty.
Who else? Storm is Masters. Storm, you're almost GM, right?
Yeah, Storm is almost master.
Could be posted. Thank you, Owen. Storm, I think, is Masters. He's almost GM. Storm has been very busy with work and stuff. I'm also GM. Oh, I didn't know that, Owen. Wait, Owen, I thought you were Diamond. Moira and Junk, yeah. I'm still waiting to find
Owen was a support player.
Yeah, Owen, I thought you were... Oh no, that was the game you were just in as tank. I understand. I understand now, Owen.
Right, minute game, King's Row. Attacking.
Okay, let's see what you get. Oh, it's a good map. I'm working on Eladi. That's gonna be a crazy one, Roar. I'm waiting to see what tank I can get you to fall in love with. But tanking is it's a lot harder to one trick tanking.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier when you're willing to understand what like the different tools are good for and how to use them. Oh, I already like the Mercy's name. I really like the Mercy's name.
I really like the Bat's name too, Rhythmic.
Oh, I like the Mercy's.
Monka and Chaotic.
Okay. Oh, that's an interesting second half of that word. But yeah, the Mercy's. Yeah, the Mercy's name is gonna go ahead and predict what's about to happen.
Future.
I'll take a look at it in a second, Owen. I saw you playing the finals. The finals was super fun. We might play some more of that. Hey, Christopher. Welcome, welcome.
I have it downloaded, never played it though. So
That
I'm trying
last
to.
name sounds so familiar to me.
Alright. Alright, well. I was really wanting to get a cooldown out. Alrighty.
Okay, so where do we want to try to help get your widow? High ground, right?
Yeah, I'm trying, but she's not
Once you
grappling up.
once you take that right side, take the top right high ground.
Fair enough.
Are you coaching? Yes, right now we are, Christopher. Okay.
Poor Mercy.
Here we just chill. See if we can trade with anything. That's such a cool hammer, bro.
You want Bastion? Alrighty.
On the key. Take top right and go up and over them.
I can do that.
If you can't go through it, go around it, go above it. Let's get creative. Here we go. We mix it up. Here we go. No, no, you just pulled him away from the fight. I would have kept going. If you pull their hog away, that's fine, but then make him chase you. Make him pull away. Make him go, and then you pin, and he keeps chasing you. There's no front line left. That gives space for your team.
Ash is top left. Alright, got Shatter. And our Bap just died.
We just chill. We just chill.
Their Honor died.
Very nice. But we're down our BAP. Okay, here we just hold. Make it so the Ash can't shoot. Good patience. Here we just play for the cap. Their tank will be back soon, but we can play for cap in the meantime. And our Widow doesn't have an angle there anyway. Their Hog is going to go for it. Yeah, they're all going for it right side. Get ready to pin. Now. Good. Just keep the Ana out. Grab the Mega and then go back in from the high ground. Ready?
We lost that fight?
Yep. Just stabilize high. Stabilize high.
I went back.
I know.
Right.
Then let him, make him take as much time, waste as much time, and then if you need to get out, you will get out. Okay, let's go main. Full int, full int, full int. Okay, play for the cap. You're gonna get woken up, just holding cap. The Sombra's about to go in a second. GC9, we're fine, very nice. Okay, now we look for staggers. Hog is back, just pressure him. And you're gonna try to live here. Very good. Your only goal is to get out and live. Very nice. Just hold. We already have cart movement and you have low shield. Just chill, 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 chill. Get your shield back and then we can push. Okay. There's the Bob. Very nice. You tank that and just try to disengage. I know it's tough. You're good, you're good, you're good. In this instance, you have a lot of incoming damage coming in. So our big priority is making sure we cannot afford to go in without our cooldowns. We're really abusing the fact that this map is linear. So when we take our little side angles, we have to fully commit to them.
Right.
Okay. So pressure corner. Where are the danger spots? Who's dangerous? Who's dangerous? There we go. Right here. No sleep. Okay, there's the hog. As far away as you possibly can. That works too. This is all beautiful cart movement. Now we're going to aggressively stuff so that the cart keeps moving. We're going to take advantage of the fact that their tank isn't there. No sleep. That's absolutely fine. You're full health. You're not going to get punished. Help your Zen push the Ana. Very nice. Prioritize the cart here. Very good. These are beautiful staggers. Prioritize cart. And now let your bat push. Push with your Zen. Okay. Now hold this corner. This is all free cart space. Oh, you feedy McFeederton. Oh, you just hold the corner. Hold the corner. Hold the corner. We're fine. Good, good, good. Now you give naturally. You're fine. Unlucky. Unless they've seen it. Nah, the hog's about to push you with Kiriko. Oh my god, never mind. Your widow's nuts! I don't think we win that though, because the hog has to be dropped, and we don't have a nade. Yeah, they're gonna take it. Wait. Full in, full in, full in, full in, full in. Help your Zen. And that should be it. That's insane, chat. Okay. Now here, just hold the angle. We don't want the Sojourn getting free. There we go. Just pressure her without shield if you can. Because we don't want to give her charge. All good. No, you're good. All good, all good, all good. Are they C9? I thought everybody was in the cart. So they got pressured out and back, and their hog's kind of a pussy. To put it politely.
Died really early on, and our Sandler killed everybody.
Yeah, the Widow also killed 3, so.
Right.
So this is where we don't want to give the Sojourn value, so we actually decrease our hitbox. There we go. We drop shield, and we engage with our face, and then we shield late when we absolutely have to. Ah!
That's not what I was expecting.
You're good. So what that is there is we face tank some damage, get to a corner where we can swing, and then we shield only when we need to. Because the Sojourn's going to get value, and they're going to do a lot of shield break, and then we won't have it to disengage. So there's the hog. Can you do anything about it? You can do that a little bit. Nice, nice. Tickle, tickle. You need your health here. Chill, chill, chill. Very nice. We're looking for a shatter. Maybe you don't need it. Yeah, we're good. We're just chilling. Nice. Prioritize point if you're able to. No, you're good, you're good, you're good. I want to see if you can shatter the hog and the Sojourn in this next push.
Fine.
Good. They will have coal, but you'll be able to still pick the Soj.
Huh. Where's the hog?
Your Widow just doesn't miss, which is really nice. I want you to pressure that high ground, please. Oh, no. What noise was that? I've never made a noise in my life. Okay. We have a shatter opportunity with a Kiriko. Hold on. Disgusting. Pusher, pusher, pusher. Disgusting. Let's go. Here comes the hook. Nice. Good cancel on that. Very nice. Oh, they took your 5k, those fuckers.
No, no, no.
Is it there or is it bugged? It's bugged.
Where are the
I love this game so much. And what's crazy is if you would have touched the cart with the soldier, I think you would have just capped it.
Yep.
I'm so sad. That was it. That would have been a 5K, and then you walk in with your soldier. Oh my god. Nah,
I think I'm
boo.
more sad that the health pack just disappeared and I didn't even get it.
Ryan got no, boo. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of trolled that there at the end. All you had to do was stand on the cart with the soldier, and the two of you would have pushed.
Oh yeah, I definitely threw it at the end.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so a couple things that I really want to point out, and this is just like the Rhine matchup. Something that a lot of Rhine players will do is they'll look at the game and they'll be like, "Oh, there's someone on high ground," and they'll go, "How do I deal with that?" There's nothing stopping you from physically going up there. What is the difference between a diva taking high ground and a Ryan taking high ground? Can anybody tell me? What's the difference between a Ryan taking a high ground or a diva taking high ground? Or I'll give you an even easier one. What's the difference between a Genji taking high ground and a soldier taking high ground? Real, help me out here. That's the rules. Wild. Real, what's the difference between a Genji taking high ground and a soldier taking high ground? And we're going to do that quick little review then, Boo Boo. Look at that
Okay.
together.
But the difference between a Reinhardt taking base up
Mhm.
top is because eventually that Ryan's gonna have to drop because what he did was he forced you off, then he's gonna have to drop. Where with a diva they can get up and down really fast, where Ryan has to walk all the way around, and it takes a lot of time to do that.
Okay, so the second half of what you just said, where the diva is able to just fly up there versus the Reinhardt is going to have to walk or maybe use pin to close the distance faster, takes longer time. Despite how long it takes, the answer that I'm kind of fishing for here is that it looks different. They're both able to do it. There's not like some
Yeah.
weird thing in the map where like so where I'm standing right now in this perspective on Gibraltar, up on this little bit right here, there's nothing in the coding of the game that says a Reinhardt character model is unable to pass through this doorway and stand up here and
Right.
that a diva somehow magically is allowed to, right? That doesn't exist. So what I'm getting at is this is a lot of players have this stigma that the only tanks that are allowed to take high ground are the ones that are able to fly for some reason, which is wild, right? And that's just not the case. You can play high ground as Zarya and get immense amounts of value. You can play high ground as Reinhardt and you can get immense amounts of value. That's the point. It's maybe how you get there is a little bit different, but at the end of it, you're still able to do it and potentially get valuable from that source. So if you're noticing a Widowmaker that's giving you a bunch of shit, sure, you can switch something like Winston because you're able to more simplistically get from point A to point B, but that doesn't mean you can't do it as Reinhardt.
Right.
42 6 Genji game with 12 blade kills and sit, no firearms in the stream. Oh, and I'm wildly out of shape, but I do appreciate that. It's very kind of you. It's the same thing with flanks and people thinking only the DPS can flank. There are Zen players that go on these disgusting flanks because they have no footstep sounds and they absolutely shit in bitches. It is very cool to see. You guys really,
Right.
really, really have to drop this linear way of thinking while playing this game. A big thing I talk about a lot is how I don't want you guys thinking linearly. It is not just so straightforward. There's a lot that you can kind of experiment and play with this game, whether it be shooting through a little crack in some of the little, I can't say crack on stream, a little crevasse in terms of a little bit of the map geometry to shoot a widow that actually can't shoot you back because of how like you're abusing the layout of the map. Flank spots, the fact that every single map has multiple lanes that you could be using as opposed to just the main lane. The more that you're able to understand that this game isn't linear and the more you're able to think more open world three-dimensionally, the more fun you'll have playing this game and you'll also have way more opportunities to be way more influential than you think. I'll have you know Zarya can fly if you know her text. Yeah.
I'm still
Double
struggling with
jumps,
Zarya's movement. Like,
double
there's a lot of
jumps.
things that you don't know, but like, can you get up there? And when I do it, I'm always in a comp match. I'm like, oh, can I do it? And I bounce up and I miss. Then I'm like, no, okay, you can't do that. But then you watch another video, you see it, and you're like, well, you can do that. I just made a mistake somewhere.
Mhm. If you want to be GM, just flank on Kitty or Mora and don't heal easy GM. I'm gonna say no, um, because awkward. I don't know if you guys have seen the awkward unranked GMs. He got a lot of flack for those, which is why I think they've kind of died down in popularity. Is because there's a lot of like high elo players and like coaches that are like, this is really freaking stupid and just really wrong. Um,
Yeah, but
like
it was
this
more
whole
funny to see that.
Oh yeah, no, it's entertaining,
But
but he actually had to come out and make an announcement because what he was saying was just like just do damage, just do damage, just do damage. And there was like
he's not
thousands
wrong.
of
But
people that stopped healing their team, like support players that stopped healing their team, and they were wondering why it wasn't working. It's like, well, Awkward said to just do damage, and he had to come out and say like, guys, damage is good, but don't ignore your teammates, heal them. And then everyone was super freaking confused. I haven't met a single coach that likes the unranked GMs that Awkward does. I haven't seen his private coaching that he does. Maybe that's super good and actually helpful. But the unranked GMs where it's just like, here, look, I can aim better than all these people. That's not educational. That is someone that is mechanically more advanced. And yes,
oh yeah, he's definitely mechanically inclined. Like he's
they teach
there.
good concepts, but you don't need to use those concepts. Like straight up, like if you look at like a Widow unranked GM, it's the funniest thing in the world because there's been a couple people that have tried to do it and they'll like try to explain what they're doing and how they're doing it, but they're not playing against good players. So they don't really have to do high elo application. They can just go, well, I landed my shot there. Oh, I missed. Okay. Well, yeah, you gotta land those. Like it's the most funny thing to watch. You have a Widowmaker player explain why they're shitting on people 4 elos below them, and the only thing they have is like, well, technically, like they're running in a straight line. I killed them. There is no explanation because you're just mechanically diffing them. So good concepts and good habits that Awkward as a player has learned and developed, and his playing a bunch of different games. Professionally or semi-professionally. But at the end of the
Well,
day, if you're playing against players that are not good, you don't have to play as well. Does that make sense? If you're playing against good people that have good position and good angles, you have to bait cooldowns, you have to force rotations, then yes, you have to play accordingly. I'm sorry to say, if you need to stomp on lower ranked players to get content, then I don't know, man. Maybe that's just something about your own gameplay and content. I will defend this though, Gavin, because this is something. Hey, Moon, but well, by the way, welcome. And this is something where I do like to be very transparent with y'all. I'm not going to bullshit or lie to you guys. Unranked to GMs are one of the most clickable and highest viewed Overwatch content that exists. And it's not just Overwatch. There's a lot of these, hey, I'm really good. Let me shit on these less developed players. That is a very attractive thing for peoples to watch. People like to see displays of power, or a lot of people like to
yeah,
see displays of power. That's like the
I agree with
psychological
that.
term for it. So, in terms of what that is, unless Blizzard says something about like, hey, we don't want to promote the publication of smurfing, abusing content, you
They're
know,
already against it though. They dislike it because it affects the matchmaking and whatnot. Which is why when you have an unranked GM, it's only like,
Mhm.
was it 15 games max?
Yeah, that they have like their whole like detection system is meant to take accounts that are meant to be like right now you can win 5 to 15 games in a row on your rank placements and you'll get into GM because it's just like no, stop it, stop it, stop it. So that's the point. Whoa,
And
shots
that's actually
fired.
that was one reason why I actually climbed up to GM was because I went 10-0, and it's like, all right, I went from diamond to, well, GM 5. Then I
Mhm.
won another 5, hit GM 4, and now I'm at GM 3, and I went 5-2.
Mm-hmm. Some of the players until you get GM and never touch that account again. But that's the point. And Gavin, you and I have had a conversation about this where you were talking about how you enjoy educational content. You like learning. Gavin here is an example of someone that really enjoys learning. He's like a knowledge sponge or a knowledge magnet is the best way I kind of described it. So depending on what you're looking for, I think unranked GMs are entertaining for a lot of people, but there needs to be a very clear, blunt thing, and I'll go on record saying this, is that there is a difference between educational and entertaining. You can have something that's both. I try to do my best to do that, but at the end of the day, If it's a horse, let's call it a horse. If it's a donkey, we're going to call it a donkey. Let's not confuse shit here. I'm not going to try to tell you that a Mercedes is a mango. Like, no, that's completely outlandish. So an unranked GM in no way, shape, or form is it educational. All these high ranked players and all the coaches and stuff, we all know that it's not educational. But people still don't listen to that and they go, this is going to help me. This is going to be better. I'm going to be better because I'm watching DeFran shit on plat players as soldier and kill 6 people in the back line. Like, unless you know what you're looking at, there's not going to be much takeaway. Now, if you know what you're looking at and you can identify, hey, this worked because, then that's a different conversation. But in order to be able to recognize that, hey, this worked because, it's probably because you already know how to do it. Therefore, you've already learned it. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Is that the only people that could learn from an unranked GM already know those concepts and can either A, apply them themselves, or like me, maybe struggle physically to apply them, but are able to explain them. And therefore, there's nothing new to be learned in the first place. So it's kind of backwards, if that makes sense. So we use unranked GM as background noise. Moving if that's okay. I'm the VC. Moon, this is a private call. This is
Yeah.
a paid for segment where Boo Boo is like the featured special guest. So this is just Boo Boo. We do this kind of stuff, but this is a paid for. Boo Boo gets the spotlight. Boo Boo is involved in these really nice conversations. Boo Boo gets to express his thoughts and opinions and everything like that. Does it like say real quick? Well, Moon, you can throw it in the chat if you like to do something. But Boo Boo, if you're ready, we're gonna have Boo Boo actually help us do a little walkthrough analysis thingy dingy here in a second. At least for me, if I want to learn, I'd rather watch a GM team going against, I don't know, another GM team or something higher. If a GM team is going to go against a plat team, what's the fun in that? It's like noob stomping, Gavin. And even then, if you're able to be explained, hey, we do this because of this, we do that because of that, a lot of people are afraid of asking why. And that's how human beings learn from when we're like 4 years old and we accidentally touch the stove and we go, shit, it's hot, right? Like you learn as a child, like, okay, that hurt. I don't want to do that again. But then your parent explains to you, or you get taught in school that your skin is sensitive and too much heat is painful and it destroys the molecules on your thing and burns are bad and raw. So, but it begins with a question of like, why did that hurt? And I will always encourage my chat, my community to ask why. Don't just listen to Atlas because Atlas says so. If you guys have a question as to why, that's good. That's how we learn. I will always encourage you guys to ask why. The molecules on my what? Pizza? You're about to get banned. I'm kidding. People are getting tired of explaining, which is why the earth is dying. Maybe, but we also live in an age where there's a lot of information out there, but there's also a lot of shit information. I will
Oh yeah.
never get tired of helping people or answering questions, but our hope is to get a lot of these things published so that for the sake of time, I can have, if someone asks a question that I already have published a video or an answer to, I can link them the video, not because I don't want to explain it to them, but because now they have something that they can watch whenever they feel comfortable and they can even rewatch it if they want to. And I think that's the point. It's not that I would be like, oh, I have to keep answering the same questions. It's like, no, if we have it published, then you guys have access to it indefinitely, as opposed to having to remember what I said on one particular stream in one particular situation in one specific scenario. Yes, molecules. All right, boo boo. So I'm going to share this on Discord so you can see it in real time of me, but I'm going to kind of watch this with you and I want you to kind of make your little comments of like when to pause, when not to pause. I want you to point out maybe some of the mistakes that you were noticing and when you chose to exploit. And even if you notice something that like, hey, I could have done this a little bit faster, it's open talk, open knowledge. We're going to try to pick your brain here a little bit. So let me stream this
I
to
know.
you via the Discordians. Hopefully this doesn't make my PC explode. Hold on, let's see. I'm now going to be streaming from 3 different sources. So can you see
I can see it.
on the Discord? Phantomelastic. Let's do this really quick. And then we'll do this together.
Yeah,
If
Moon,
you
I
get a
got
chance,
halfway
I'm going
through
to
it.
Risaka. I wrote on this Risaka with awkward. I'll take a look at it real quick while we push play, and we'll see what's going on.
So the reason why I took this high ground was because I want to see what's coming out first. And with me being able to be here, it means I can at least rotate backwards. I can rotate back to the left if I need cover, and it also allows me to see what's coming out. So when they come out as at this moment, I can hear the Reinhardt. So I know they're gonna have Reinhardt. So that Reinhardt's not gonna get to me. So I'm not worried about the Reinhardt at the moment. And I know that the Genji and the Sim are right next to me. So Lucy's down to the bottom left, Reinhardt went to the bottom right, and the Lifeweaver is now alone. So I'm looking at the Lifeweaver because I want to be able to separate the Lifeweaver out. And now I'm just making sure where the Reinhardt's at, see if he can get to me real fast. So he can still get to me. Reinhardt's coming back to me now. I get back up and hide up to the top left. Mercy's gonna be at the left too, so she's gonna heal me. So is the bat. So you force out the Sojourn, or not the Sojourn, the Sombra. Now the Reinhardt has no charge, and we have no lamp.
But notice how he's abusing the range, chat. He doesn't need to brawl the Rhine. Why? Because the Rhine wins that matchup. So he's abusing high ground and playing at his range. And the Rhine can't do shit.
No, when I was shooting to the left and right, it's because I'm looking for the Sombra. And I switch over to Hog.
So chat, how many times has Boo Boo touched the cart?
Once so far.
One time. One time.
So Sombra's the bottom or top right, and I see the Hanzo climb up. So Hanzo's gonna climb up again. He's gonna use his Storm Arrow. I ate it.
Okay, now forgive me, Boo. I am going to hit pause because I want to talk about something that's fundamentally very important. What the majority of players would have just done here, and this is very, very big and important. Do you guys see the Hanzo? The Hanzo is about to climb up this wall, and the D.Va is going to dive him. What the vast majority of players would do is dive into the Hanzo and land here on the ground, in which case they will now be shot at by 5 people. But what Boo Boo did, and this is where the positional difference is between a GM player versus a low elo player, is where does he go? He lands on high ground with safety. He is still denied the Hanzo, same as before. And now he's still able to fight, and he doesn't feed 400 damage. Chat, does that make sense? A lot of people get super freaking tunnel vision, and they just go, Hanzo, and then they land in front of the entire other 5 people, and they go, where am I healing? Where's my healing? I'm like, brother, man, you just literally tried to feed 19 starving children in Africa with your robotic gamer butthole. What are you doing? That was a weird sentence. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Okay, I didn't sleep well. Bogus. Anyway, so the high ground is good. Dropping into them is bad. This is a PG stream, by the way. And now look, and we can keep denying the Han Jojo. Clipped. Pizza, you're gonna get me fired. Oh, Pizza's gonna get me fired. I tried not to use the word ass because I wasn't trying to swear, but I think butthole was worse.
Yep, yes it was.
Thank you, Moon.
So at the moment, I should have stayed back because that Roadhog is gonna be alone.
Wait. What did Roar just say? What did Roar just say in chat? Roar, why are you my favorite little genius badger right now? Go to the spot that the enemy wants to be instead of to the spot where the enemy is at. Chat, remember we talked about the other day? Remember? A, B, and C. A is where they are. C is where they're going, which means B is where they're the most vulnerable. It's while they're in rotation. Does that make sense? Is anyone remembering these things? Because Roar just mentioned it. I don't even think Roar was in chat for this. Yes, we're clicking. We're cooking. Very good. Mucho nice. I speak Italian, you know? Okay. Thank you, Roar. You're my favorite genius badger right now. How often should
focusing on
you?
the Roadhog.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't have been. I should have been up on high ground and trying to force their team away from the Roadhog. I
Miles,
should
you're
have been
good.
doing that.
So right here, we should be forcing it off a high ground, you said. Okay, Hanzo stops the point. Hogwarts is cooking. I'm so smart, I don't know what's going on. That's the thing, Roar. You're just so used to being awesome, it just happens. And Miles, you're good, big doggy. You're good. Should you take certain damage to save DM?
Yes.
Yeah, think about what you're DMing, you know? If a
So
fire
at the moment,
strike,
I know that Hanzo's going to be pretty close to his ultimate because he's been just banging me all day. So I know that I need to get through, and I need to save my Matrix for that. So now I see him up here. I saw him use his Storm Arrow before he went out, and now he's going to use his Dragons. So that's why I ate the Dragons. So now the only ult that I know that they have is going to be the EMP, because she's been hacking me, shooting me, not leaving me alone. So now I need to figure out where she's at, but Hog is alone, so I'm just going to force him out.
I'm so proud of Boo Boo. We'll explain that in a second, Moon. We're proud. Yeah, Shorty's proud of you too, Boo Boo.
Appreciate it. So now EMP is out, and I'm the only one that got EMP'd in BAP, but it killed my mech, and so I knew that I need to keep my ultimate. So what I did there was that I wanted to make sure that I knew where the Hanzo was, and I didn't want him to get to the tree. Because once he got to the tree, it's going to be really hard for me to kill him. So I wanted to kill him before he gets to the tree. So I forced him out and let the Roadhog be alone. So my team kills the Roadhog. So now I'm going to go back up high ground because I know that they want this spot right here. So I need to force them off this high ground. So Hanzo's to my right. Then he got Diva or Ana.
Disgusting.
Yeah, definitely. So now they have no hook. I'm still trying to scout out Sombra. She's invisible. I hear them to my left. And this is where I feed my brains out.
So I liked all of that unbelievably much. So chat, and this is where we usually have to tell low elo players, slow down. You're good.
Yeah.
You're chilling. You're fine. There's no fire in your pants. No one's biting at your ankles. There's no knife to the back of your neck, tickling your little neck hairs. You're good. We're fine. We're chilling. Just being here and saying, no, you don't get to be, is unbelievably awesome. Chat, I have the big issue of backing out when the time is right. Either pull back too early or too late. So a lot of that will kind of develop with your game sense. But Miles, a good way of kind of looking at it, and Moon, this will also answer your matrix question. So if you are doing something, the whole best case scenario, and this is going to seem very vague, chat. I don't want to leave you with this, so I will elaborate and go specific. But a best case scenario is you are putting in minimal amount of effort, or you're having to take minimal amount of time to do something that gets as much value as possible. So that's the vague answer. And then the actual answer that will help you a bit is, think of it this way. If I see 40,000 points of damage flying into my face or into one of my teammates, whether it be their diva is using her missiles, their bastion's using turret form with a damage boost through a BAP window, if I matrix that as diva, would you guys say that is valuable? So that none of those points of damage actually register. Would you guys say that's valuable? If I matrix all of that craziness, is that valuable?
Yes.
Yes, right? Now, is that as valuable as a soldier shooting a helix that hits you in the foot and you're like, I matrixed it. Technically, still yes. You matrix the helix damage versus the other. But do we agree that those are two very different levels of value? So, what
Yes.
we're getting at is that in this game, the different actions that you do, no helix isn't as value in my opinion, but that's precisely why, because the total amount of burst damage and damage that's being put out, that mitigation cooldown, because the whole point of it is that you mitigate damage, right? And mitigate healing even. You can eat up the heals that would have otherwise helped their tank. You can suck up the Anno's bullets or the BAP's bullets so it can't heal the tank. It's mitigating numbers, right? And that's where it becomes valuable. So you basically look at it as there's the best, most valuable thing you could have been doing in that exact moment of time, and then probably the least most valuable thing. And then the other end, it's almost like a 0 to 10 scale and then a 0 to -10 scale. So 0 means you're accomplishing nothing, but you're also not really hurting your team. A 10 means you're doing all these amazing, awesome things. A -10 means you're doing nothing helpful and you're actually feeding your freaking brains out. Our goal is to at least keep that number in the positives. That's it. I'm not expecting you guys to be a 10 out of 10 every single play, every single time, every single game, every single cooldown. I'm not asking you to do that. What I teach is to have you guys be more consistent in terms of being able to identify those more valuable plays, and then we'll just get better as we go. That's the goal.
Right.
So I just try to keep you guys out of the hurting your team, screwing yourself over, hindering your growth, hindering your progression, dying too much, dying unnecessarily, because then you also stunt your own natural ability to limit test and to grow in this game. So
Right.
the goal here, and this is a really good example of that, is that our tank is standing here scouting for a Sombra and denying the DPS from taking high ground. So, in terms of options that they have, the Diva right now is currently denying this entire lane that they cannot be. And she's also simultaneously keeping an eye on the other two. This is what we call very good positioning. Because as the tank, you can see if they want to go high ground there, you're on the high ground here, and you're also keeping an eye on the main lane there. So where the Ana is, that padding there, up here, and up here. So right now, the diva is technically keeping the whole map in check, at least awareness wise. And then she can then choose to respond to things accordingly. She can't be everywhere at once, but she's at least paying attention. And this is already valuable because if you have information, you can then make a choice. And you're also limiting their choices. I watched a game like that. Enemy Moira 2 nights ago fed my Malga 35,000 tastes, 10, 35k as in 35 kills to 10 deaths. That's wild. So the goal here is that being able to teach you guys what is already valuable. Because most people look at this game as like, unless you're killing 9 people every fight, you're not doing anything valuable. There's a lot more going on than you guys realize. And when you go, oh shit, that worked out, most of the people
He's
go,
gonna kill me
yeah,
too.
I'm awesome, but they have no fucking clue what actually happened. They see a play of the game or they see a kill feed and they're like, huh, my team sucks. I'm so great. We should have won that. But they don't understand the fact that other than that one little play of the game, that the game decided to go, hey, a bunch of hit markers. Here you go. You can have it. Your Ana was sweating her ass off trying to make up for your feeding ass and is averaging 2 nanos every 2.5 fights and has been nade sleeping their Sombra, diving both her and your Mercy for the last 9 out of 12 fights, and you only would shit talk her when the 3 fights she didn't land the sleep, and you have the audacity to blame that on a player for you losing, even though you literally are single-handedly trying to end world hunger. So I try not to
Yeah.
teach you guys to cope. I try to teach you guys to grow. So this is
I
fantastic. We're denying
when I
the
first
space.
started playing in Overwatch again, I was like, I'm not doing anything because this was back in Overwatch 1 in season 33. I didn't know anything anymore. Like what I learned from the beginning of the game and when I came back, I knew nothing. So when I was there, I always saw that Reinhardt needs to get 5k shatters every shatter. So I would save it and save it and save it and save it, and I was getting any value. I was just holding my shield, waiting for them to step in front of me. And while I was working and climbing, I was noticing that hey, shatter I can build really really fast. So let's start just spamming it because one kills better than none. And once you start realizing that you can use your abilities and start realizing that just using abilities and trying to claim more and more space is more valuable than it actually is than just holding things and sitting back and being patient.
And going for 5-man diva bombs and 5-man shatters, because there's a lot of people that play this game that are just chasing play of the games. That's it. And that's if you're a casual player and you just like quick play and you like seeing your name pop up at the end because win or lose, it makes your ego feel good or it just makes you happy, and that's how you play the game. You're always a couple beers deep, and by like the fourth game of the week, you're just like, yeah, hammer. That's fine. But there's a difference. Are you trying to improve and climb and you're trying to be a competitive player, or are you just trying to get play of the game? Because those are two very different things. Didn't need me to call me out like that. I knew someone was going to say that. I'm not calling you out, Gavin. You're good. I only do quick play right now as I don't feel confident for comp, mostly after migrating Xbox to PC. So
That's perfectly fine.
look at it this way. And, oh no. So Gino just DM'd me.
Oh no.
Am I in trouble? Whenever Gino DMs me, because he loves to ignore me, I always assume I'm in trouble. Tag yourself. I'm the one who just likes seeing my name in Potka. Y'all are wild. I will always encourage you guys to ask questions. I'm trying to make y'all smarter players. Not just a diva player, not just a mercy player, not just a Hanzo player, but a smarter player. So it doesn't matter what you guys are playing, you're able to make choices intelligently. This is fantastic and awesome. We're still denying all this space. They can't do anything. They can't walk forward. The hog is now isolated alone.
Yep.
Now watch this. Chat. Why don't I like this? Someone other than Boo Boo. No. Someone other than Boo Boo. I know Boo Boo knows. And my GMs aren't allowed to answer either. I know my GM, if you're GM, you're not allowed to answer this question. Why do I not like this play? Diva push too far? Be more specific. Got isolated. I like that. Give me some more words. Let's let the growing learn. I will not flame you. Anyone flames you, they will get banned instantly. This is meant for learning. Diva pushed too far. I like that. That's good information. That is correct. Got isolated. Give me more. What else is nearby? Anything that you guys see on your screen. Give me all the reasons why this was super mucho bad. Gavin, you can chime in. Anybody. Owen, you can chime in if you want to. Why is this bad? Why did we not like this? We instantly exploded. Why is that? We're fighting 3 people. They have spawn advantage right there. The Ana that can sleeper. There's what I think is Mora on the left and Hanzo on the right. Without mech, it's a small child versus Mike Tyson. That is a very eloquent way of putting it. No way to escape and no healing. I like that too, Boomer. We used our mobility cooldown to go in, which means we don't have it to go out. We have fully LOS'd our team, which means we're cut off from our own team's resources. We're going into a 1v3, actually 4 situation because the Sombra's there as well. That's super scary. No way to escape, no healing. Diva pushed too far. The entire enemy team is there. Low ground. You can't boost anywhere. Supports can't see you. That.
I also was half health.
And he was half health. Thank you, Boo Boo. GM players make mistakes.
And with no armor, I explode. Even though I ate the nade and I ate the sleep, they still have enough damage to like destroy me. Because Hanzo still had a storm arrow, and the mortar can go straight through Matrix, and the Sombra hacked me, and there was no way for me to get out. The second I dropped and hit that floor, it was gone.
Now, Miles, you just said something interesting. That's why grouping is good. Okay, let me ask you this. And this is where I'm going to blow your mind. Baf is there. These 3 are here. Diva is there. Right now, is the whole team grouped up? I want Miles to answer. I'm not going to put you on the spot. There's no wrong answer. I want you to give me your genuine thing, and then I will give you feedback. That is still a grouped up position. I am so proud of you right now. Yes, it is, Miles. Why is this still a grouped up position? If they can see and cover you, you are grouped. That is absolutely correct. No one has fully committed to any type of fight. No one has fully committed to an entire play, and no one has gone off to do their own thing without any realistic amount of follow-up with or without communication. Learned that from TF2. It's almost like it all makes sense when you look at it as one shiny penny. I must not be GM because I've never made a mistake in the video game. True. And hey, Jakey, good to see you. So this is still grouped because no one has fully committed to anything unnecessarily. Right now, we're just chilling. We're denying space. The amount of people that think grouped up means you have to be up your tank's asshole is very misguided. And the
Well,
amount of
this is
people that they
like
always
everything.
group up and stand on point is fucking wild. Go ahead, Boo.
Oh, when people are grouped up, we call it a death ball up in high elo, and when we do that, we only speed around. Like, we don't
Mhm.
want heals. We want to be able to get to something as fast as possible. So we use every cooldown imaginable just to get to one target and explode it, and go to the next target. It's literally just death.
And there's a reason for it, though. It's not just because we like to hold hands. No, there's an actual reason. So the point of this, guys, is again, a lot of people get stubborn and they think they understand terms. There's nothing wrong with asking questions, especially not in this community, especially not in this chat. If you guys have a genuine question, I will do my best to give you a genuine answer. And if I don't have the answer, then we'll look it up together. I like holding hands. Sporks, you're so fired. Speaking of which, you about to hold your hands of all your teammates and yoink them into diamond because we have our brig session coming up and we need to go over some stuff. I
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, Sporks is about to add brig to her arsenal.
Is mayonnaise an instrument? Thank you.
I mean, shit, the stuff that I've done with man. Anyway,
It's an
no, we're done.
instrument of war. It's an instrument of war in SpongeBob.
Any whoozy wets it. Boo Boo, let's let this keep playing.
Right.
Now today is a shorter stream chat because we're going over this stuff with Boo Boo. Like I said, we may or may not do some VODs afterwards. It really comes down to like how I'm feeling, just because this is like my 13th stream in a row. We've been doing like 8 hours every day because we had the New Year's stream that we did on a Sunday, which I usually have a day off. So I am kind of drained at this point. My genuine question is, how do I ask her to prom, or do you mean Overwatch questions? Jakey, you want my actual answer for that? Have you ever spoken to this girl ever before prior to prom? Exclamation point Discord, Miles. Jakey, have you ever talked to this girl before? Does she have any idea that you exist? I'm going to wait for Jakey to answer. Thank you, Boo Boo. And there's the YouTube. Thank you, Boo Boo. Jakey, if she knows that you exist, I hope you made it very clear from the beginning that you either like her as a friend or you like her as something more. Because I will tell you this right now, guys, it is not romantic to randomly jump in a girl's face and ask them to prom when they either have no fucking clue who you are. And even if they do say yes, I wouldn't like that either because that means they're like, oh, random person that asked me. Well, it's better than nothing. So I would develop some kind of communication with the person before asking them. Jakey, that's my best example for you. Now, can I just say, can I have a pocket? I recommend this way. We can't post links, Boom. Remember that. We're good friends. Made a camp over the summer. Text every day. FaceTime. We already went out on not a date, but just for Starbucks and food. Then I would tell her that, hey, you know, I really enjoyed spending time with you, and I would love for you to go to prom with me. I think we'd have a lot of fun, and you know, I can't think of anybody else I'd rather take than you. Be sweet with it. That's all I can say about that. Women like words. If you say the right ones, it tends to work very well. Women like words. Just don't say any stupid ones. You're good, Boomer. You're good. Boba and bath bombs. Slay. None are in my DMs.
Not res.
Hmm. I got my woman that I like and that I want. I don't want anymore. The amount of people I've had to ban and kick out of my DMs. I'm just like, no, thank you. So if it's just podcast clips, do I put it in Clip It, or is that exclusively for Twitch clips? So the Clip It and the stream highlights are going to be two separate things. But let me just double triple check to make sure I don't give you bad information, because I know streamers make mistakes sometimes. So if you look at the side there, the one that says viewer highlights, you will see it just beneath the VOD reviews and the custom mode leaderboards above the hacker game codes for YouTube. Viewer highlights is where we're going to put that for the viewers, and then Clip It is specifically from the Twitch stream. So if you see it live on the stream, that's Clip It. If it's for the viewers, it's the one that says viewer highlights. Now, Boo Boo, this was a very exhausting last 3 hours that we just did. How do
Yeah,
you
definitely.
feel? Because this shit is not easy. How do you
It's
feel?
I'm feeling fine. I mean, I have been learning. But at the moment, I feel like I'm just exhausted. Like,
There's a big difference between application and actually learning, guys. These sessions can be very exhausting. So you have to remember that, whenever you're learning something new, you have to be very realistic with yourself. You may actually experience a little bit of a dip in performance, and it's because your brain is now working harder to try to apply new things. You're no longer autopiloting. So this is why I recommend trying to apply these things into quick play or on an alt account, because a lot of y'all will jump right into comp on your main games, and you might find some success because of the easier concepts that we've gone over, but some of the more difficult ones, those do take time to apply. So, be kind of realistic with yourselves. There's going to be some growing pains, but give yourself time to apply the new ideas. That's going to be number one. Number two, just as a quick recap for your benefit, Boo Boo, and then for chat as well, we're going over this. Some of the matchup variants and the interactions that we talked about today that I think are really going to help you with the whole dive exchange, and then how to play versus dive characters even if you're not diving yourself. The Ramatra interaction, where the Doomfist goes into your backline, you can't keep up with his mobility, right? So you use other parts of your kit where you use your effective range. Your snare, slow him down so that while he's inside of your team, he gets away. He can't get away, or he's forced to use a cooldown, even at a disadvantage. So your team can now apply pressure, and you can still shoot him from afar. Or if you're about to go in for an engage, understanding threading Ramatra's combos in terms of Nemesis, Ult, and then Re-Nemesis, and then using your snare whenever you're trying to pounce on a target, whether it be through your Nemesis form or even beaming them with your primary. Slowing down the target so it's moving less quickly makes it easier for you to land your damage. Do you need to talkie? You're good if you need to do what you gotta do. Mm-hmm.
all right, I'm available.
You're good. So those are two for the interactions. And then again, if you're going to set up a dive as like a diva or what have you, the idea that if your team is like all of a sudden you're not getting resources, you're not getting help, and they're not walking forward, take that split second and realize, oh shit, I may need to be helping my team walk forward physically. Because if you are isolating yourself from them and they can't get to you, it's going to be a lot of shit has to go right from them popping off, because now if they're being pressured by something, they can't come help you until that threat is dealt with. So peel for the team and then help physically walk them forward, and so you guys can all set up together. That's going to be a big thing, especially on Diva. So walking your team forward to set them up with you where you would like them to be. Okay.
Fair enough. Malka is definitely not a dive hero.
Yeah, Malga is definitely not dive. No, no. Malga is the exact opposite of dive. He is a brawl hero. If you guys are ever curious, Coach, I finished my one stream montage. I put in the self remote, and the song is free copyright. Hell yeah, Shorty. If you guys want to check that out, Shorty is one of our top 500 on all three roles player. They were originally a Masters player, and then they were gold coming into Overwatch 2, and then we helped him get to top 500 on all three roles. He does, I don't know if he still does the streaming. I know that sometimes yes and no, but he's a dad, he's a husband, he does full-time job. He's a very hardworking guy. You'll see even he plays some games with us sometimes. But yeah, really, really cool guy. And he's a crazy, crazy player. But yeah, if you guys are ever curious as to what archetype a character is, the term we use is effective range. So think about how fast they move around, so their mobility, what their cooldowns let them do, and if you're holding down just your primary click, what's the range of that? If it's super close and the character doesn't move around that much, it's going to be a brawl character. If it's super close and the character does move around a bunch, it's going to be dive. If it's not super close and it's far away, then it's definitely going to be poke character. Those are like the most base ways of doing that, if that makes sense. So mobility will decide whether it's dive or not, and then effective range will also affect if it's rush or poke. Hopefully that helps. Boo Boo, anything that you want to ask chat, you want to talk to chat about, anything you want to plug or discuss, anything like that?
Not particularly.
Okay. If you even want to post a picture of your dogs and tell people to go check it out, anything like that, you're completely allowed to do.
At the moment I'm good. Do you want to go through the changes for this season 9?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. That's a very good idea. Chat, what I'm going to pull up right now, this is basically what we're going to be expecting in season 9. These are the things that have been supposedly confirmed. So for any of you guys that are curious as to why everyone in the Overwatch community is kind of freaking out about season 9 and why we're so excited for it, it's because of this article right here. So I'm going to pull it up for y'all. And we're going to look at this together with Boo Boo. And I also want to get his thoughts about it and such. Boost, appreciate the follow. So this right here, every major change confirmed for Overwatch 2 Season 9. So far, I'm going to close Overwatch because we are done with that. Okay, so a couple things. These are like the 3 main bullet points for it. What did I just do? There we go. Players can look forward to the official release of the new Tank Hero Amalgam Overwatch 2 Season 8 update. We got that. Season 9 will bring significant updates to the game's rank system, providing players with more ways to show off their competitive progression. And then number 3, the competitive update in Season 9 will include instant rank progression updates, shiny new emerald weapons, and the return of placements, allowing players to further distinguish their skills and proficiency in ranked play. Boo Boo and
I'm
I,
super excited.
we kind of talked about this a little bit this morning, but there's some key points I want to bring up with you guys right here. So this is the first one. Overwatch 2 competitive mode will be overhauled in Season 9. This is the closest thing we're ever going to get to what we used to have in Overwatch 1 with the SR system. It means after every game, this bar is going to go up or down. No more waiting for a 5 wins on a losing card, and it feels like shit because you're like 3-7 and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to finish this card if I want to keep playing, but I already know I'm gonna rank down, so it's like fuck it, I'm switching accounts. This is the sole reason I started playing Overwatch again. It's a big, big, big,
Yeah.
big
With
deal.
this update, it's definitely going to put more competitiveness inside comp. Because before you're like, well, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. So I'm not going to continue playing this if it's not going to be give me what I want. These people like to see numbers grow. When you don't see anything grow or don't see anything like it, and like there's times that even you go 5-0 and it goes down, you have no information to decide why I went down or what happened,
It's
or you
super
stay the
shitty.
same rank, and it's super super like it just makes you not want to play the game.
It's demotivating is
So
probably the best word for it.
yeah, demoting. But yeah, that was my opinion on it. Is that I'm super excited for this new competitive system. Um, do I think it's going to help a lot of newer players and teach you things what you're doing wrong in the game? I don't think so. They said it was going to show you what you do and how to get better, but I don't see how that's going to do it.
Durock, I would have to check, but I can check after this. Find out will there be prelim matches before overall rank. There's going to be placements, which that kind of goes in right here. So it looks as if though they've marked it as having, excuse me, but 10 placement matches. So you're going to
So
have
we're
your
going back to 10 placement matches instead of what was
Mhm.
in Overwatch ones. We had 10, then went down to.
We
We
had
had like one
10.
season where it was 5, and it never worked out right.
It
So we
was
went back to 10.
15. And then it
Yeah.
was 10 again. So like for honors rank, I love it. Yes. So I think 10 is going to be really nice. Atlas, when are you starting your OnlyFans? Didn't you say at one point you wanted to start one? I That wasn't very serious, DNAT. Um, I personally don't want to be associated with that website. I personally would not be intimately involved with anyone that was also part of that website. And again, I said intimately, guys. Like, if I have a friend that does it, cool. But if they're like, "Oh my gosh, you should subscribe because support a friend," I'm like, no. So that's just not for me personally. I got nothing against it. You go make your money, but that's just me. I don't think I'm gonna ever do it in OnlyFans because I stream for people that are teenagers. I stream for people that are adults, and that is not a teenager friendly website. So no, I don't think I should do that if I have people that are younger looking up to me or a part of the community. So no, no, no. It would be a joke, OnlyFans. Nah, we're good, Dina. We make plenty of jokes. If anything, we'll do like a Patreon or something. We're joking. I don't know what you guys are into. Some of y'all have. I'm not gonna leak any names, but I've had more than one person message me on the side about one of y'all wanted to see my knees, and the other one gave me actual prices for my feet. And I was like,
Why?
I'm like, shit. I
Oh,
wish I didn't have such ugly feet. Will you
oh.
sign up for Hog Wild, the barbecue joint? I feel like that's a sussy trap. I don't know what this is. Linus Tech Tapes made a real April Fool's OnlyFans. That's hilarious. Anywho, what was the question? I've never been sus in my life.
All right.
Okay.
Emerald weapons. Who's excited?
Yeah, yeah. Let's look at Emerald Weapons. Okay, so the way that Emerald Weapons are gonna work is that every single season, they kind of show it right here at the top right, where you see these competitive points that you guys are getting. If you log into your game right now and you do play competitive, you're gonna notice you probably have a good amount of these, especially if you've already purchased all the gold weapons. So the new system is this, and they have said that there's gonna be more ways of earning competitive points, which I think is quite nice. But the way it's gonna go is you're gonna start up your season, and if you win, you get more, obviously, than just participation or losing. But you're going to earn these competitive points, and then you're going to be able to spend them on gold weapons. And I think once you have the gold weapon for that character, you can then get the emerald one, or I think you can now choose. I'm not quite sure on that. That hasn't been clarified. But at the end of the season, if you do not, if let's say you need 3,000 to buy a gold gun, and you have 2,742. Boo Boo, tell the people what happens if the season ends and you have not spent those competitive points.
It turns into legacy credits, and you're able to use it in your Heroes to Buy Season 1 skins.
So they go away, and the competitive points do not carry over to the next season. Now, because they get turned to legacy coins, you can then buy retired skins. Retired skins are Overwatch 2 skins that have already made their cycle through the shop, that have no longer become the hot ticket, and you can now buy them in the hero gallery, and also Overwatch 1 skins that are following in the same footsteps. The ones that get brought back, and if you see them available for those white colored coins, that's what your competitive points now turn into. So I actually quite like this, because if it means that even though, let's say, life happens and you can't finish out the comp season and build up enough competitive points, you still get to do something with them. It's not like you lose all that progress. So I actually think that's quite decent. I'm
We
gonna
don't
see
know
stuff.
the exchange ratio, so it could be like it's like a bank account, and you come out with like 2,700 or whatever for a new or 2,700 banked. Like it just gives you like a little check at the end of the season.
I'm sorry, I just read what Dean and Shorty said, and I'm about to lose my mind.
I wasn't reading. Oh boy.
Hey Atlas, I'm doing something for Boo Boo. That's nice of you, Gavin. Are you doing some crazy artistic awesomeness? I'm so bad. Miles, that was a little too far. Easy with these. Okay, holy shit. Oh, I'm gonna get banned. All right,
Hello,
so
Jakey.
yep. Hey, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but emerald weapons are a thing. We almost have all the gold guns. I'm hopefully gonna be able to buy those all up on that our content account. But yeah, emerald weapons. This is something that was really exciting. There were two things that chat we kind of talked about a year ago, and I got to talk to some devs about it. I kind of just dropped the idea, and I don't know if we're why they did it, or maybe they were already thinking about this prior. But there were two things that we talked about. Number one, and this is with you guys, so a lot of y'all agreed with this, is we wanted the introduction of something else other than gold guns. We specifically were like, what if they did like emerald, ruby, and sapphire weapons? And we're getting emerald weapons now. So that was super cool. And then the other thing is that I used to joke about, not face tanking stuff in this game. So it's like it's almost like an obstacle where if you can't go over it and you can't go through it, maybe you go under it or around it. I would be like, well, no, technically you can't go under it because burrowing would be super OP in this game. And what do they freaking announce? They're literally giving a character burrowing, and that also scares the hell out of me. So two predictions that we had with that long term are coming to fruition, and one of them is really exciting and the other one is freaking terrifying, but it's shit happens, bruv. Ultimate rank and return of placements, yes, this is where they talk about doing the whole 10 placement matches. They are adding another rank for ultimate to try to water down or try to maybe not bridge the gap but expand the gap between the highest level players. So I think this is actually going to be quite nice. I still think that they should have a minimum rank for top 500, because if you're diamond 2 and you get given the top 500 role, I don't think that's because you're actually a top 500 player. I think it's no one playing your role. It's the
Right.
same way if you're on Switch and there's like 14 people playing and you're like, yo, I'm ranked 2. I'm like, okay, but there's 14 people playing.
Yeah, that
You-
definitely needs to be changed, Pizza. I'm sorry, but Diamond 5 or anybody in Diamond Master should never be top 500.
There's a minimum rank, it's Diamond 5 though, but you see how that's troubling. I I'm
Yeah,
I'm
it's
I'm
troubling.
messing around half my games talking to you guys and I could accidentally become eligible for top 500. Are you kidding me right now? Do I look like a top 500 player? Tr-
Yeah, I don't even think of me as a GM player, but I'm like 2 games away from getting a top 500 mark.
like
And to me, that's not what it should be. A
mhm.
GM3 player should not be a top 500 player. So I'm not.
But diamond weapons would be cool. Yeah, I think diamond weapons would be bitchin'. I would love to have like amethyst weapons. I think purple is a freaking cool color, man. If we
I
had
think I'd
purple
rather have
weapon
dark
skins,
matter.
dark
A
matter.
weapon like you
If
just
we
get
had
molds and
purple or dark matter weapons, Gino would only play this game. He wouldn't even give a fuck about the gameplay. He would just buy every purple sojourn weapon that exists and Reinhardt hammer that exists. He'd get them all. Gino loves purple shit.
you probably hit
Loves it.
top 500 just so we can get like that 1% skin that everybody will get eventually. Because they're gonna add it where only top 500 gets this weapon skin or something stupid.
I actually think that would be really cool. I would love to have weapon skins that are for specific ranks.
I think that's probably the best bet too because you're like I have grind for this. I have done this.
And
You
before
guys can't get
someone's
it.
well, before someone says like, "Oh, but no, it's not accessible to everyone." Who gives a fuck? When did we fall into this ridiculous like everyone gets a participation trophy bullshit? Like, that's not how the
I
world
don't know about
works.
that
I think
either,
that's
but
ridiculous. If the person that is like the best on the team gets a trophy for MVP, but it's the trophy says the same thing and looks exactly same as the kid on the little pee-wee soccer team who spends half a practice sitting in the dirt playing with a stick in the ground, going, yeah, yeah. Like they get the same trophy as the kid that's like practicing at home with his dad, kicking the ball against the wall, learning to juggle, scores all the goals. That kid gets the same "here you go, good job" ribbon as the one who's eating worms with his ass. That they get the same. Anyway, so no, I think that
oh,
good players should get more awesomeness for being awesome because it also gives you an incentive to be awesome. And I think awesome
so
people are
Ultimate's
awesome.
coming out and Emerald Weapons are coming out both in Season 9.
Yeah. Hey,
And this
Roar.
competitive system where you lose your competitive points at the end of the season, so you have to literally work for your new skin, and they'll disappear, or your comp points will disappear.
Jakey, I never said that. But yeah, so see, this is happening season 9. That's how
Yeah,
it's
all of
happening.
it's season 9. So the competitive system or the competitive point system is going to be like you. Those points are only meant for that season. The rest will turn into legacy credits. You'll have the ability and a chance to go win emerald weapons,
Hmm.
and you're gonna have placements. Ultimate is out, And they said that they're gonna have close matchmaking and wide matchmaking, so you can play with your friends.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy. So this next paragraph right here, I'm gonna read it aloud. Competitive grouping restrictions will be loosened in season 9, which means bronze players can queue up with their platinum or even diamond friends. However, it will take more time to get a game this way, as the system will have to find a similarly imbalanced enemy team. My prediction is this. Straight up. Wait, I just realized. Wait. Huh? Why is that showing up there? Oh, because my face cam is showing me in call with you. That's very strange. Hold on.
I thought you were just
There.
showing me off. I can like show my face cam if that's what you want. Well,
It's up to
okay.
you. It's up to you. I'll do it like this, and you can turn your face. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, no. Now it's not there at all. What did I just do? I just broke something. Anyway, we'll just focus. All right. So, yes, DNet speaks German. Um, when do you think it will take time to get ultimate? We'll have to wait and see. If it's just treated as like, oh, it's just now another rank that's above it, I just think it gives you now something to push for. I think just the fact that they're adding the ultimate rank, I think will be very exciting for high elo players right off the get-go. Now, whether or not that excitement immediately dies off or actually maintains is how competitive it feels, number one.
To be honest,
Number
I have yet to see the badge for the ultimate. Is it gonna look the same like
I think it
GM,
had
or
like
is it?
a red accent around it from what I saw online. I don't know if I'm revealing something I shouldn't have been revealing because I'm not supposed to say, or if I actually saw something that was confirmed leaked. But the thing I've seen is pretty cool looking. I don't know whether or not I'm allowed to show you guys. I'll take a look at Discord. But yeah, the ultimate ranking logo I've seen is very cool. So
Because
there's
that was
that.
my goal for season 9. Is I want to hit ultimate
Mhm.
with this account specifically because I've been trying to work for this one to get to masters.
I will send it to Boo Boo. Oh shit, that's cool.
Now I'm scared.
I'm gonna hold on, Gavin. How do I nipples? How do I send this? Copy media link, and then I do Boo Boo, where are you? I found you. And I do this. I think yes, there we go. That's what Gavin just made for you.
Oh, that's insane. It's actually sick.
And it looks just like Boo Boo has the same jawline. Send it
Damn
to
right.
me, Atlas. Gavin, if you feel comfortable, throw it into the Discord if you want to show it off in the art section.
Yeah, that's sick.
But Gurak, do you mean the what the rank looks like? Or what Gavin made? What Gavin made, I think he's about to put it in the Discord for y'all to see. But this is it. This is the season 9 stuff for any of y'all that were curious as to why we're kind of freaking out and super, super excited for it. This is the new rank logo.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't think we're supposed to know anything about
Yeah, I
the
don't think I'm supposed to say. Sorry, Gurak. Because what I've seen looks cool as shit.
like
Um,
even when with the announcement with Blizzard, they didn't show you what the rank's gonna look like. They just said they added it.
no, 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 no. Okay, well then, yeah, I'm not supposed to say anything. I'm not supposed to say anything.
Like I don't want to get Alice in trouble or whatever, but like I said, it's gonna be right above GM, and they want to keep everything a hush hush, so it brings out the hype for everybody for the new
What
season.
I've seen looks cool as shit. So that's all I'm allowed to tell you. Is it looks very, very cool. I'm I think it actually existed and then they pulled it because I saw it and I had access to it, and now anytime I look it up, it's not there anymore. So, mm-hmm. I wish I could tell y'all more. My lips are sealed. Unfortunately, I cannot. Um, it's probably a prismatic gem or something. Cybra, I'm gonna have to wait 37 days. It looks cool, and I will give you a hint. It looks like it fits in with the rest of them, but it definitely stands out. And actually, already on stream, I said a color that was a big hint. I'm not going to repeat it, but that was a big hint. Anyway, um, yeah. So that's
I
season
was
9.
I'm kind of hoping that they like spread out most of the ranks because can you imagine having an emerald rank, a ruby rank, a sapphire rank, and they're all right next along with diamonds to separate every one of those ranks to make people feel more like they're special? Does it not
I
make you feel that way?
I don't want to get into this thing where now we have too many ranks. I think adding one more rank, but there's a reason they're doing it. I think that's fine. I think by adding the ultimate rank is decent and cool. It's refreshing. I still think they need to raise the minimum for getting top 500 because so that can actually mean something again because that's like a big, 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 big deal. And then the other thing, and I know it doesn't affect me directly, but it does affect a lot of people. I do not like how almost rank locked you become at bronze 5 and at plat 5. I think those two ranks, and they've talked about this too, is that plat 5 and bronze 5, you can get rank locked where it doesn't matter how many games you win, the game will stop letting you um, rank up or rank down. And I think that's super stupid, especially for people that like first start this game. They're in bronze 5 and now they actually can't get out even though they're improving. That's pretty rough. That's like the only thing we've actually had that's real elo hell. There's some people that very much deserve to be bronze 5, but there's some people that are actually like gold or plat players and they're still in bronze lobbies. And that's not a good idea. Bro, I know I'm gonna get it, but there are too many ranks now. We'll have to wait and see, Guruk. If they add a rank, but there's a reason for it other than let's just add more icons, then I'm willing to see how it happens.
I think it's actually going to be a good thing though, because there is a difference between new GM players and old GM players. Like
Yes.
even though I'm a new GM player myself, it's going to be a really long time that I see before I hit ultimate.
Mhm.
Yes, I would like to hit ultimate in season 9, but and that is a goal that I have. But in general, I don't think it's gonna be easy for me to hit it.
Like the best way of looking at it is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are like the intro to the game ranks, bronze through diamond, right? Once you hit diamond, it means that you've begun to understand what the hell's going on. And then masters is like you've hit the ground running, you have some traction, and then you hit GM. What is actually quite fascinating, and this is very, very true for Overwatch 1 as well, is that the only people that you saw that were kind of in masters, there was like three cases. Either one, they were boosted and bought there. Number two, they had like a huge ego problem that was probably holding them back from actually hitting GM. Or number three, they simply didn't play the game enough. They were quite good, but they simply didn't have enough time to dedicate to actually getting to the next tier. And that's basically what you had. You had people that were probably GM or even top 500 if they actually had more time to play the game. You had people that were like completely hard boosted from plat diamond into masters by like either cheaters or other people or they bought an account. And then you had the other people that could be really good if they would just swallow their freaking ego and their pride and actually just grind out and tweak that last little thing that's holding them back, which usually ended up being their own perception of who they are and how amazing that they think they are. So that was that. And then GM was just like the stand all be all of what's going on. My hope is this is what they used to have in Overwatch 1 and what they kind of have now in Overwatch 2 is like upper and lower GM1 is it used to be like GM was like let's say you had a 4200 player but then you had like a 4600 player or 4700 player. They were both GM, but someone that was a 4600 elo player regularly, they would make a 4200 GM player cry. Like you would look like you were absolutely playing with your feet in comparison. The
Yeah, I've
4600
noticed
elo,
that too.
they were
Because even
crazy. So,
even playing right now, even though I'm in GM3, I'm playing against people that have been playing the game longer than I have been in the game, and seeing that I can, there's a lot of difference between our skill levels.
mhm.
It's
Oh yeah.
insane. Like they can switch to any hero and diff me on it because they know everything about it.
And they're
And
more
where I'm,
consistent. They've had more time
yeah,
spent in the environment. They're used to this high pace of the game. Like exposure definitely yields like a lot more readiness and awareness. And Sporks, I agree with you 100%. With your seatbelt sign, I'm gonna go. Okay, JK, good luck. But I think that having 8 as opposed to 7 active ranks on the ladder and then top 500 again being arranged because we need to be very clear, chat. Top 500 is literally the top 500 people on the competitive ladder of that role. It's not an actual rank. It is more a recognition of the top 500 people, you are one of them, and then it shows you a numerical value equating to that. And that's why people have an issue with a diamond player being consistent to be top 500, because the way that people look at this linearly is they think that this is its own rank, meaning that this player, it was diamond player, and now they're 3 ranks better than they actually were a season ago. No, they just completed their 50 games probably quicker than the other diamond players around them, and then they're just like, oh, I peaked number 57. I'm amazing. Flats should study me for advice. And then they keep playing, and other people also qualify, and now they're Diamond 4. And then it's just like, I don't have to listen to you, Diamond players. I'm a top 500 tank. And it's like, no, you're silly. Stop speaking. And that's how it goes. But it
Right.
has a different icon, as it should. But there's a big difference between what you peaked in a season and what you finish in a season. In Overwatch 1,
Exactly.
there was no such thing as what your peak was for a season or what you started with. No, it was your overall peak rank at the end of seasons where everyone is sweating, everyone is trying hard, everyone is popping off, everyone's really playing, to win and grind. So your overall career peak at the end of a season is what mattered. Not you just finished your 50 games before everyone else and you got given a nice shiny number. That's not the same thing.
I will give you my peak in season Overwatch 1 though. 1560.
1516 is now a GM3 player, and he's busted his ass to do it. That's how it should be. Yeah, say it again. Yeah, but look, Diamonds slowly dropped from top 500 by the end of the season. Exactly. That's the point, Gurak. Is just because they finished their 50 games before, they get given a top 500 icon, and they keep playing, and other people are qualifying and zipping past them. And now they develop this big headed ego. Like they're like, oh, I'm 3 ranks higher than all of you fuckers. I'm like, no, you're not. You're still Diamond. You just finished your games faster. Like, if you're the first person to finish your test, but you guessed half of them or you got half of the answers correctly, that doesn't mean you're going to have 100% on that test score. You just rush through it and you finish before everybody else. But if there's other people with a better score than you because they took their time, I don't know what to tell you. You still look like an idiot. And every season that would make comp more competitive. Yes, because it gives you something to work towards with a time crunch versus you don't just log in, play the game, get your wins, get your rank, and you don't have any incentive to play the on that account anymore because you know that it's never going to go higher. That's the opposite of what you should have. Diamond, oh yes, especially at the start of the season.
So
Theoretically,
are
the
we
tough.
going back to the original top 500 then? Where it's only the exact top 500 and no
I hope.
matches?
I hope. I have big
Because
hopes for that.
they didn't give any information on that. And same thing with Ultimate. They just said it's a thing. Because like
Pizza.
in my personal opinion, like if we went over to like Apex rate or Apex Predator was like the highest rank. There's no numbers to it anymore. But if you've seen someone with that rank, you're like, he's one of the best players in the game. I want to be just like him. Is it gonna
And
be
you
like that or
you watch them and they're off rolling and they're feeding their fucking brains out. It's amazing. My biggest hopes are for Bronze 5 to get fixed and then for the top 500 players to get some closure because they've done a couple different things with top 500 that people have been upset about where it's like you needed 15 games or 25 games or 50 games or however many games it needs before you unlock being eligible for top 500. That's pretty brutal. If
yeah,
they would
definitely.
just start you at, and I know that GM players have been dealing with this since the game came out, and other players got a taste of it and they hated it, but dropping you down to a certain point, like a certain break point. Boo Boo and I talked about this before stream. What I really wish they would do for the soft season reset is let's say you're Diamond 5 at the beginning of the season reset, I think all of your placement games should be considered Diamond Elo, period. Doesn't matter if it's Diamond 1, Diamond 4, 2, 3, or 5. You get put with other Diamond players. And then the 10 games should analyze, are you doing exceptionally well against other Diamond players? And therefore, it will give you a head start to try to reach for the next rank of Masters, or vice versa, if it feels like you played fairly or kind of struggled, then you're going to retain your Diamond 5 elo. And then if you do drop into Platinum, it's clearly visible as to why you're losing games. Or if you are going to win, it's the game's going to make you work for it so that maybe by the end of the season, you aspire to hitting maybe, let's say, Diamond 3 or Diamond 4. And that way, it helps people that, at least in their mind, believe that they're better than all the other Diamond players and they deserve Masters. It actually gives them a chance to put their money where their mouth is. And then the Diamond players that actually do belong in Masters can get there more quickly, therefore stabilizing themselves in a more consistent elo that they should belong in. And then the other players that are in Diamond, it doesn't give you constant games where you have Masters players that deranked into Diamond against people that just got out of Plat into Diamond. And now you have a lobby full of all Diamond players, but it's really a bunch of Plat players versus Masters players. And that is not fun because now you're talking about a 2 elo difference. So I think at the beginning of seasons, you should have the opportunity to maybe rank up or derank more aggressively with the understanding that it's actually going to analyze how consistent you're playing. If you're playing consistently well, you should be rewarded. If half your games are shit and half your games are good, then you shouldn't move in rank. That's the whole point. I don't
Right.
like that system. There's nothing inherently meaningful about the diamond rank. So grouping diamonds or lower match quality not really do anything. Randomly lower or raise your rank effectively depending on where you are in your rank. Well, pizza, I use diamond as an example. And if you look at the average player that plays this game, because the average player plays casually, they don't put as many games into the game, for example, as like maybe I do, or maybe as you do, pizza. That's what I'm saying. Is that when you have people that play minimum amounts of games, let's say even if it is just their 10 placements, my system still works for that. Because if they only play their placements and they get put into a rank, well, then it doesn't affect the people that are playing regularly anyway. Because if that person only plays 15 games in a season and you play, let's say, 100, the likelihood that they would have ended up in your lobby in the first place is already slimmed in on anyway. So it doesn't negatively affect the people that play more than the casual average player, and it actually helps the other fellow casual average player because it makes it so that it stops giving you lobbies where you have a bunch of bronze players and gold players and diamond players that are all treated as the same. That's the whole goal. Is there needs to be an opportunity for people that are, you know, basically already deserve silver by now, but they're being grouped with a bunch of people that are barely bronze. Is that when you do move from one rank to another, it feels more rewarding, but then it also feels as if though you haven't been left behind, like incredibly so. Like how many times have y'all gotten to a new rank and it's overwhelming? Not because of like the psychological aspect, but because you basically go from plat 1 to diamond 5 and you feel like everything is like, holy shit, this is crazy. And that's because you're probably playing against like diamond 1 players that are almost now masters, not diamond
Right.
5. And that's because there's no realistic line between it. So have the placements treat all diamonds as diamond, all plats as plats, and then have that determine whether or not you actually belong in, let's say, diamond 5 or diamond 1. So not always. The drawings can feel very random to individual based on where you happen to fall within your rank when the season resets. But that's why I'm saying pizza just for the placements, not indefinitely. Goodness no. I think indefinitely that would defeat the purpose of having a 1 or a 5 next to it. I agree with you
Right.
there. I think that would defeat the purpose if that was just how it always was. I'm just saying just for the beginning of a season because they're talking about doing these hard MMR resets at least once every 6 months or once every year. They talked about that in the Blizzard and BlizzCon, you know. So I think once every 6 months or once every 12, if the person really wants to test their metal, no pun intended, and say I'm done with these metal ranks, and they use that as an opportunity to really see how they fare against other elos to see if they do deserve to climb. I think a more simplistic approach would be good. Plot one player that just squeaks at a diamond in the last day could find themselves playing with someone who's usually Masters 5 and just dropped a diamond 1. But that's my point. If they did that and it was just for placements, the game would be able to go very quickly. Okay, yeah, this is not quite for you. We're going to keep you in the lower end. And then if they just drop back into plat, it's because they're losing games.
Right.
That's the point. But if that Plat 1 player, because let's say for whatever reason they're grinding on another account, or maybe let's say they've had more time to play and they've been really, really trying to improve. Maybe they got some wonderful coaching lessons from Atlas AB on Twitch and they've made this improvement. And now when they go in, they actually end up doing super well. And they're like, you know what? I can do this. I can, go toe to toe with Masters players. The game can then encourage them, maybe not throw them into Masters immediately, but at least give them a little bit of a head start, diving deeper into the Diamond Elo and maybe a little bit faster up the track. And with now having another rank in Ultimate, making it a little bit a thinner of a path, that makes it even more available and it gives it even more room for error because it's now a longer path to walk. So the room for error is actually minimized with the addition of another Elo. You
Right.
say for your next 10 games, your rank might slide around a bit more than usual. So wherever you're within your rank doesn't affect your experience. Now I think you and I are on the same page, Pizza. It would have to be for the 10 games, but I'm talking specifically for placements. And
Right.
maybe do it that way, where it's like the caveat is it's like, okay, but we're gonna keep an eye on you. And that's why the placements would be a good time to do that, because it's already 10 games to try to figure out where you are. And if you can be consistently awesome versus Masters players for 10 games in a row, but you're in the plat rank, I think that's a good sign of at least some kind of improvement, either in consistency or performance. You know, I can't think of a single plat player that if I put up against a Masters lobby multiple games in a row by the 10th game, I think I don't think they would be able to hold on. I'll be honest.
No.
That's the point. If you can consistently compete at that level, I think you should be rewarded with at least maybe some kind of a head start. And,
That's fair. But my only worry with the new rank system is that how much is it actually going to spread out the GM? Since everyone's going to be grinding for the ultimate and top 500 now, because it gives them
mm,
something to grind for. Like how hard is it going to be to tell the difference between a GM3 player and a GM1 player? And that's what I'm really worried about.
I think that the my prediction is this. I think that the low GM one players are going to be the new Ultimate Fives. That's my prediction. I think that low GM are going to be the new Ultimate Fives. And if you are Ultimate Four or higher, you are going to be the greatest thing ever. But to be honest with you, um, top 500 is still a thing. And the amount of people that are even to hit that elo in the first place, my prediction is this. I think that the highest level of GM1, the highest rank you're gonna see is probably gonna be Ultimate 4 until the top 500 logo takes over.
Right.
Because think about it, when you're making a mountain taller, you're like kind of pinching the peak and kind of stretching it out. You're making that peak even thinner. So I don't think that all of a sudden you're gonna have like this perfectly even distribution because the top 500 logo takes over. Look at saying, well, Jacob, we talked about that earlier. We talked about that where the minimums need to be raised for top 500. And if you weren't there for that, but that should have been there earlier. Killing Masters, I won my first comp game against that dragon. Hell yeah, knock. Yeah. So with the ultimate ranking before the top 500 logo takes over, I think the most you're going to see is like an ult 4, an ultimate 4 rank. My minimum for top 500 should have been GM2. I think that's what it is, should be for all roles currently. Now they're adding the ultimate rank. If they really want to do like a top 500 minimum, I think it should be like ultimate 4 or ultimate 5. I think you should get into ultimate. Maybe not even do an ultimate 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I think once you break out of GM1, I think you should get the ultimate rank next to your name. And then now you should be eligible for top 500. Did I tell you about how I placed plat on my main? Did you just did you just spawn camp a Sombra? Or did you just like pistol only as mercy? I believe you, Pizza, if you told me that. No, I didn't throw. Can't wait for unranked to ultimate whenever season 9 comes out. Yes, because that's gonna be really educational. What about super bronze? Well, hopefully they're fixing it for bronze, I think if they fix bronze 5, plat 5, and GM 5, I think that the game will be in a really good spot. Me personally. Emerald weapons are pog. I think that's super cool thing for people to, even the casual people to grind for. I know I'll be collecting them. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to and I'm hopeful for this.
Yeah, I think we're all hopeful for this because it's definitely gonna separate out things way that they are work. But I'm also thinking about that it's definitely gonna give us something to grind for because like even now I'm like, well, I only need 2 more ones to get to the highest rank that I or supposedly can get.
Mhm.
But it's not like that's the end of the road for me. There's
Thank
still
you,
so much
Garak.
more players out there, but I'm not like once I hit top 500, I'm not going to see a number grow anymore. Besides seeing that the top 500 instead of saying a 499, it's going to be 498. To me, that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the color changing, the badge changing, and everything like that. To me, numbers weren't ever that important.
I think it's good to have the numbers as a sense of improvement, but I also
Right.
think it's really powerful that even when the game is in a state like this, being able to recognize your own improvement through your visual progression, I think is really nice. As beginning the
That's
people who
fair.
play Smash as well. So pizza, and I don't think that's your fault. I think that is just you pointing out a very flawed mistake they made, but they have acknowledged where they're like, yeah, we never should have done that. And so that's not a you fault pizza in any way, shape, or form. That is a Blizzard fucked up, and I think that's why they're gonna start doing the MMR reset every 6 to 12 months. So releases feels like the last one that came out isn't fully committed was Team Fortress 2, and I'm starting to get out of this comp mentality that every FPS needs to be an esport. Well, Gavin, the beautiful thing about this is, and I have a lot of people that I coach even in Overwatch, just because they want to look at the game differently and they want to be better at the game because they want to enjoy it. So I think it's very normal to want to be um good at something or at least see improvement at something you put a lot of time into. So I do think that Overwatch can still be casual. Like there is a casual game mode in quick play. I think that the people that are on like TikTok and stuff saying how like no, you need to be serious. It doesn't matter if it's quick play. You gotta run the right comps. If you can't shoot as Widow, switch off a Widow. I'm like, those people need to shut the fuck up because there's already a try hard game mode and there's already a chill, relax, have a couple beers with your friends and goof around game mode. They already have that. And now they're trying to make quick play the try hard game mode. I'm like, you stupid troglodytes. There already is one. If you want to sweat, go to comp. If you want to relax and just play casually, play quick play. So those people need to shut the fuck up because they're blurring the line and it's taking away the fun for when there actually is a time and a place for casual and there is a time and a place for competitive. Any game where team would
Yeah,
be
that's
competitive,
what
that's the,
I was also going to bring up with Quick Play too, because Quick Play has changed a lot since Overwatch 1.
yeah.
It's definitely been blurred around, and in Overwatch 1, a lot of people knew that overall or Quick Play was for Quick Play. And
Mhm.
right now it's actually called unranked. It's not actual Quick Play anymore.
That's kind of wild too. The rules
Like
of the
if you
game.
think about it, like it's classified as unranked, not actual Quick Play anymore.
Open queue and roll queue though I can't say is the same thing though pizza because I'm not I'm Jacob is a really good example of this. I have heard Jacob laugh like a drunk child at how easy it is to climb an open queue
Oh yeah,
because
it's
of
completely easy.
how unbelievable stubborn people are in terms of not playing like the most broken possible things. Because the min maxes in terms of how to like get an abusively strong comp is laughably high when you have no limits as to how many supports and tanks that you can play. And yeah, Jacob, I have heard him laugh like an absolute ninny, just guffawing left and right at how hard he can shit on people on characters he doesn't even play because they're stubborn on what they're picking.
Yeah.
Who don't want their team to be
So
controlled.
I was playing a game with Anika, Sax, and Straki.
Mhm.
We would just play goats and floats. For everyone who doesn't know what floats is, it's dive goats.
It's super high mobility, fly awesomeness. And I'll give you a hint, guys. Most DPS heroes suck in this game. Hasn't changed in years.
Um, but what happened was is that now all of us are a diamond player, so
Mhm.
we went through it, and Nika hit Masters 2. I hit Plat because apparently I'm just unloved. Everybody else hit Masters. So
Mhm.
with climbing in open queue, we're even though that we only died twice the entire time, it was never close. So climbing in open queue is not that hard, but roll queue, that's when everyone's playing, and that's where everyone does play.
Mhm.
But if you want some extra points, deathmatch and Mystery Heroes competitive is out there too. So I think everyone's gonna be doing that. Oh, that's
Switching
another
back to
thing.
the
So
right
with
buttons.
new seasons, do we get a little bonus like when like the new this new season starts in season 9? Our little bonus for our comp. Do we get that before or after the season? So
Say
like
that. Oh, like the bonuses at the end for like getting
yeah,
competitive
bonuses
points.
at the end. Is
I
that the next
believe
season?
we don't know. How it's
You don't
always
know,
been
correct?
now is wherever you finish, you then start the next season with that nice little of points. So I think that's what they're gonna do is how they've always done it. I can't confirm that. They didn't say anything about changing it or not. Gavin, so but what you're describing there with an FPS that's team based, maybe it's not and focused on its fun and not competitive. I think that's subjective in terms of how you view Overwatch and the casual game mode being played. Number one. And number two, the interesting that you said that because the very first thing that came to mind is that you guys know the hero mastery system that I'm very much so much of a fan of. Yay, that I think is a waste of resources and time. They talked about adding a hero tower defense mode on that, and I don't know why, but to me that actually sounded like a lot of fun. And to me, I don't know how that could get any more casual. Where if there's a leaderboard, cool, then for the people that give a shit, that could be fun. But the fact that you could maybe like four stack and do a tower defense game mode where you pick up power ups and you do like the shooty shoot pew pew and you can actually like
Did your
practice
stream just go
synergy.
down?
My what?
Your stream just crashed my end. I don't know if your stream actually went down.
Check. Can you guys still see me?
I reset and work, so your fingers are moving.
I think we're good. But yeah, the tower defense thing, I actually think that's gonna be hilarious. I'm super excited to play that with like Deanna and Jacob and Mitosis and Gino if he wants to show up. Maybe I grab Boo Boo. Maybe we do something on stream with the VIPs. Maybe we grab Sporks and she gets to show off her crazy honest skills. Like I think that would be super fun. And to me, that is just screams casual and just fun with no extra added pressure. So
That's fair.
quick play used to be like that, with still wanting to win the game, right? But if you win or lost, the only real backlash you would get is stupid people talking shit afterwards. Like the amount of people that develop an ego as a quick play warrior is wild
I'm looking
because
at Gloomy.
it's nothing. Yeah, gloomy shits on bitches, but you know she doesn't have to talk shit. She's the stats speak for themselves. So I commend Gloomy for that. She's humble, right, Gloomy? The PvE was going to be the casual side of Overwatch, at least for me, and well, they took that away from everybody. But the thing is that they shot themselves in the foot. They released the PvE content. For those of y'all that were there, we played the PvE content. It was super freaking fun. I was gonna super try hard the PvE. A lot of people did, and it was actually with the harder legendary game modes, and there was like an actual like title or prize you could get for clearing legendary in all three. I still didn't clear the last one because that damn rig glitch. The point of the story
Yeah, that was
is the free one that they let here you go, you guys can try the PvE. That was recycled garbage that we had seen for years, right? The cool shit they showed us in BlizzCon all those years ago, we got that level, and then two more that had lore, new maps, exploration, destructibles, huge things you could go through. You could use different characters, you get different accomplishments. There were hidden Easter eggs and like pick up the Pachimari and get it off the ship before it explodes. They did that, but they put a $15 price tag on it. So it's like, no, you idiots. This could actually make you guys a lot of money, and you could put more of your cosmetic bullshit in there if you wanted to. Cool, click, pay money, awesome. But the thing is, they could have still done it. But the first one, they needed to give away for free. They needed to, not the shitty recycled one on Kings Row. They didn't even need to include that. If I never saw it again, I would have been excited. But the first three of those amazingly beautiful levels, at least give one of those for free and then let people spend $10 on the other two. That would have been fun as shit.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
Kings
They should
Row,
have gave you one for free, but I think
because
they also needed to bring up the stock prices too.
okay, but here's the thing. If you introduce a new, let me simplify this so that it's impossible to misunderstand this, chat. How many of y'all have ever gone to the mall and there's like a food court and there's like 13 different places to choose to eat from, and you have that nice little Asian lady with the orange chicken and the little like paper cuffs going hello, and she gives you one, right? And then you take one and you try it and you're like, that's what I'm eating, that's freaking delicious. the, how much do you think it cost them? Like it actually like it hurt their bottom line to take like maybe a couple small pieces. Are you allowed to say that? I'm 13% Asian pizza, so I am, yes. So I'll make that very clear. I will never make like that kind of a comment unless it's like a race or a nationality that I'm part of, because it's like me making a white joke. It's okay. Anyway, so what I'm getting at here is if you take something like a piece of orange chicken and you cut it up into a bunch of pieces, how much does that piece of chicken cost you? And now you have all of these wonderful people that get to try the chicken, and because of that, they purchase a full meal, but they had a good initial first experience. It's the exact same thing. So if you give someone the free sample and the food tastes like shit, and you're keeping all the good stuff behind the counter, well, their first impression is like, "Ah, that's not very tasty." And then they're not going to want to actually buy the good stuff. So I think they really dropped the ball in terms of they presented like mediocre at best. And then all the good stuff, only the people that actually put down the $15 to give it a shot, like the content creators or the people that just like to spend money, they got to experience it. But what happens like about other people that just wanted to like at least get introduced to the idea? You give the first set of amazingness stuff for free, and now you have return customers all going, hell yeah, I'm so ready for the next PvE. Take my money and take my credit card. And then they're ready for it. I think they dropped the ball. I think they shot themselves in the foot. But what do you guys think? Do you think that PvE is still going to be a thing? Do you think it's not worth it?
I
I
think it's
th-
gonna be a one-time update every year. They're gonna bring out three new missions every year and just bring up a little bit of hype and make you spend a little bit extra money on the new season to help the company
you did,
and
I did,
people to
chat
help
did.
them grow. That's what I think is what it's gonna be. It's just
You're,
something just to boost it so they can help grow their own team, so we can get better PvP content.
I right
You see?
now they make so much money off of skins. And
Yeah.
DNAT, I'm gonna mini call you out, DNAT, mini, because DNAT for a while was on the train with it, where it's just like, just don't buy their skins, they're being greedy. We're not gonna be able to stop them all at once. And I think the best example that we give is that what's that streamer guy who used to be like a Blizzard dev or whatever, Thor. He talks about how he worked on StarCraft 2, or his dad or something like that did, and there was like the very first mount cosmetic that came out for WoW. It was like a rainbow sparkle horse or some shit,
Yeah.
and the money they made from that $15-$20 mount in total made more money. That one cosmetic mount that they spent on that, I think in like 6 months, made more money than the entire StarCraft 2 project. The base game, the expansions, everything. One little sparkle horse in
That's
six
also
months
fair
made
enough.
more money than an 8 year full game. And that's crazy.
World of
So
Warcraft's a lot bigger than StarCraft, though. There, what was it? 235 million copies sold for World of Warcraft, and I think like 22 million for StarCraft. That's a little different.
fair, but we're talking about an entire game franchise also associated with Blizzard, and StarCraft 2 wasn't unpopular. The StarCraft franchise was not unpopular. Let's make that very clear. And we're
Yeah,
not talking about all of the World of Warcraft IP. That would be a no-brainer, obviously. But it was one silly little sparkle horse that it wasn't for everyone, not everyone bought it, but for how much it cost versus how much it cost for them to produce it, and they might and enough people were actually like, yeah, I'll put 20 bucks on that. That was the difference. StarCraft 2 was the esport for a while. That's another good example. World of Warcraft has never had an esport presence.
But that's a different style game, though.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Uh,
that's what we're getting at. Is that we're not saying StarCraft 2 wasn't popular. It wasn't maybe as popular World of Warcraft if you look at the bigger picture, but the fact that both associated with Blizzard at a time where both were very popular for their own reasons, an entire IP versus one little glitter sparkle horse that cost 20 bucks or 15 bucks, whatever the hell it was. That one little microtransaction made more. Take it a step further. For any of you guys that know, the same company that owns Blizzard also owned King. King is the company responsible for Candy Crush, or whatever.
oh yeah, that's
Do
what I've
you
heard of.
guys know how much Candy Crush makes in revenue on just, and the whole game is just levels and microtransactions. Do you guys know how much money a quarter or even a year Candy Crush makes in revenue?
Isn't it like 1.9 billion or something like that? It's pretty fucking up there.
It starts with a B. It starts with a B. And that's something as simple as buying little extra cool things that light up and help you clear levels. And those
No,
levels
it's
are
not
like
even that. It's
AI
lives.
generated. Yeah, and lives. I didn't even get to lives. We just buy more lives so you can keep pushing buttons and buying other stuff. That number that they make off of that silly little Candy Crush game. I play it. I'm on the shitter. I'm just like, yep, 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 bing, bing, bing. It's a great time, you know? Watch out for hemorrhoids. The point of the story is that the number they make off of that is in the billions. And if you tell me that more
Yeah.
passion and thought went into Candy Crush than StarCraft 2, I think you're huffing something. But that's the thing. Simple is, I tell you guys this, I love simple stuff because you don't have to create the most gobstopping, amazingly wonderful thing in the world. Because even if you do, if it's not profitable in the world of business, it matters less. You can make a ridiculously simplistic budget game like Flappy Bird, and people lose their nuts. And more people download Flappy Bird than the Overwatch PvE. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Once again, all they got to do is drop one Mercy skin the shot, millions of dollars acquired. Simple is the best
Well,
CS
what
player
was
known to
it?
this universe. Jacob.
In Diablo Immortal, the phone game, it makes $1 million a day.
Well, no, but Diablo Immortal was stupid because there was no limit to how much money you could spend in that game, and you guys can look it up on YouTube. There's stories of it. There are like whales in Diablo Immortal for mobile that would
Yeah.
literally spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to compete in like the PvP modes, and you just couldn't touch them. Like you would try to damage them, their health bar wouldn't move, and they would swat you and you would explode. And it was
Yeah,
because there was
that's
no
that's
cap, and what you would have, and it was genius because you would have like thousands of players that were all just like big dick comparing to see who could be the first person to spend $1 million on fucking reroll crystals. It was insane. And there are these people that they have a lot of disposable income or they have gambling addiction and they're just like, screw it, I'll spend 100 grand. Bet me I won't. It's just fucking money. And they'll drop 100K. And anyway,
yeah. It gets a little insane, but Blizzard's not a poor company.
it's small indie company. They need help, chat. But I am excited with Bobby Kotick. I haven't said anything about this since it happened, but I'm going to say a little bit about it now, and I'm just going to leave it there. With Bobby Kotick being gone, despite who or what he was, wasn't, did well, didn't do well, good person, bad person, the amount of people that have been very vocal as to how that he's gone, they feel like they can actually be passionate about their job again. All I'm going to say is this. If what I'm hearing is that more love, resources, and good developers are going to not be scared away and forced away and actually be paid appropriately and allowed to shine at what they do involving the Overwatch IP, I am all for it. Am I in charge of how it gets done or who does it or who is this? No, these people they have families, they have lives. I hope that they are treated fairly and justly. And I hope that they're allowed to practice their craft and do what they do best. And I hope they have the best living situations and paid freely and equally for it. and they don't have
And that's
people
one
like
thing I
holding
actually
them
do
back.
hope for in
But
the future, is because Blizzard's iconically the worst paid dev company out there.
oh yeah,
So I want that to change. Like these guys make billions of dollars and they're the least paid.
Blizzard used
And
to
when
be the lowest paid, but the allure
that's
of being able to
yeah,
say that you worked for Blizzard used to be like the big selling point, where it's like, okay, I take a pay cut, but I get to tell people I work for Blizzard. So if I do move on to other projects, all the opportunities available to me because I worked at Blizzard are now unmatched, unparalleled. But now
right.
the benefits aren't there, the prestige isn't there. You get less pay, longer hours, shittier work conditions. Apparently, you'll get sexually harassed and judged constantly, and they just tell you fuck off. So, or at least that they used to. Apparently, people are going, "Why am I working here again?" And then a lot of good people are leaving. So hopefully, things are going to now be able to. Yeah, I was never a good person, but he was threatening an employee that he was going to kill him over some stupid game positioning. I've immediately lost all respect. Again, Gavin, I wasn't there. I don't know what article we're referencing or not referencing. I don't know the person that was involved with these things, either supposedly or truthfully. I don't know Bobby at a personal level, so I'm going to stop there. But I am hoping for the best going to the future. Anywho, with that being said, chat, I think we've taken enough of Boo Boo's time. Like I said, today was going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. I am hungry. I am tired. This is my 13th stream in a row. And I am looking forward to doing some resting tomorrow and also doing a little bit of editing that I need to get done. But Boo Boo, thank you very much for sponsoring today's segment and stuff. I'm really happy when I get to keep you even a little bit after the whole um, coaching stuff, because I know you talked about doing like podcast type situations and stuff involving Overwatch. I think this is really good practice for you in terms of
Yeah,
like
definitely.
bringing up a topic, going over it back and forth. So I think that's really awesome that you get to practice that and stuff like that. Coach, if you need help, let me know. I will, Shorty. Thank you. But
Is Shorty a good editor?
Shorty's good at everything. You know,
You know
he
what?
can
That's
play.
fair.
He's the best cricket player. He's the best Sigma. He's the best editor. He might even be able to fly. I don't know. He can do some cool shit. Are we not doing my VOD today? DNAT, look at me. Tuesday, don't let me leave my house until we get it done. Look at me. We're gonna do it Tuesday. Okay? Shorty got you a token. We're doing it Tuesday. All right?
Actually, now that we talk about tokens, do I have a token? I don't even know.
You at the moment, I will tell you in 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3. That's map analysis. That one is. You have one available right now. Yes, you do.
Okay, so that's probably been in my pocket for what, 4 months, 5 months?
November. So yes, just shy of 3 months.
Yeah. Can you give that away to somebody?
Sure, we'll do a VOD token giveaway on Monday or Tuesday, chat, and we'll do DNATs first. Boom,
Fair enough. That
boom.
works.
There you go. DNAT gets his VOD, and we're giving. So everybody say thank you to Boo Boo. Someone's gonna get a free VOD token. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
What Photoshop staring at your soul? DNAT, good. Anyway, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna call it there. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your face holes. Stay beautiful. Hopefully you guys enjoyed something a little bit different today for our variety stream. Good conversations. I like to pick y'all's brains and think about how you do stuff. And Gloomy, even though you sass the shit out of me, I know you care. So thank you. Just raid so badly on finals. Go to the gym. I need to. I need to, Boomer. That's a good idea. Tommy, no. No, let Tommy cook. Let him cook, Gloomy. You take out your wiffle bat, let Tommy do the sniping, and then I'll troll in the backline as with the minigun. Let's get buff this year.
All right.
All right. With that being said, y'all, before I go, as always, please remember, be kind, be humble, be positive, and as always, GG's. And I will see you on the next one. Peace and good luck.